shit that I'm posting on Twitter, they telling me, yeah, don't say that. How niggas can't see me in
Faggots. You are all faggots.
What an image. What's the difference between J's and cookies? Cookies don't scream in the oven.
Your fucking stillborn was a fucking white nigger, you shit fuck. I hate you. Oh, smugly chuckles. Fucking, I want to hear some smugly choking. Not even his fucking kid wanted to see him. Because his fucking kid's dead. Fucking shit face. Get the fuck out of here. You're right. JF was right. Fuck.
Is Chad acting like white niggers? RJ, are they? Sir.
I don't even read chat. I'm trying to fucking roll this up with the rolling pin. What are they saying?
They're saying that you're a nigger, buddy. Yeah. They're trying to press your racial ancestry, man.
What?
Gabe Hoffman for $20. Remember, I won. Teddy Feezer lost everything. Total Jewish victory. Let's go! Let's go, Uncle Gabe.
Look at this guy. He's a fucking nigger at this shit, you know?
Hold on.
In a good way. Here's a guy who said that. Like,
My nigga.
no, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Go ask somebody if they like niggers, Kyler. Ask them if they like kikes. And Gabe Hoffman for $20 big dollars. Let's go, Gabe Hoffman, bros. And Ralph getting felted by big Jewish interest rates. Let's go. Steve, Rage Piggy, Steve. Oh, it feels good to get paid by the Jews. Here's a whole group of people, and you can ask them, like, what's the answer to the JQ? Kyler just needs to go up to people and say, like, women don't deserve to vote. You know, just be like, can you sign my petition that Jews should apologize for killing Jesus? The traditional Christmas swastika, that's right.
You know?
The sprinkles don't go on very well at all.
No,
You know, they all fall off.
Not when you're planning to fucking behead someone, you know?
Yeah.
You'll behead this bitch though, right?
The
Gabe
leader,
Hoffman.
the executive producer of the KinoKasino. He says, go ahead.
For $20, shout out to Frank the Tank, Sir Cackington, Darby, Mr. Wu Kang, Francisco, and all the Dalton Claude Felted content enjoyers. Kosher Casino, let's go!
Kosher Casino.
I think we may honestly rebrand as Kosher Casino.
Yeah.
Okay, Andy. Well, you know what? Like, we usually judge the first, Andy, but you're the guest.
I'll do quick beheading.
And women, you want your equal rights? Go fuck yourself. If you're one of these women blocking men from going to school, fuck your rights. You should not have any rights. You could suck my dick, quite literally, because that's all you're good for. You're a fucking hole who should be fucked and tossed. I hope some guy impregnates you. If I was there, I would be assisting in removing all of you from that bridge and blocking students, white students, from going into school. You fucking faggots. You are all faggots. You are fucking faggots. You should be shot.
That's amazing.
We've received a donation, a $20 donation from Gabe Hoffman. I guess it's time to reveal it. For $20.
Yes.
And he says, your Zionist handlers will be taking over the Kino Casino in the near future.
True.
Major L for basement-dwelling AF Groiper incels. Big W for Mossad. Happy birthday, Warski. Let's fucking go. So I'm just going to announce it now. Gabe Hoffman is a Jewish hedge fund manager, millionaire.
Yeah.
He's bought out the show. Next week is the Kino Casino Jewtacular. Jewtacular, the Jubilee, the Jewathon.
Alex Stein's
gonna be here. Laura Loomer, Gabe Hoffman. Every guest is going to be Jewish.
Fully Jewish.
On the KinoKasino Jubilee, Jewtacular. We're going to be raising money for a good cause. Next week, every dollar donated will be matched by Gabe Hoffman to a charity. It's the Children's Research Network. They develop software to catch pedophiles, detect child porn, and they train police officers in its implementation. So next week, on the road to Ralphamania, it's the KinoKasino.
That's what the charity
Jewtacular.
That's what the charity is? I thought it was like to feed kids. It's like, no, we're going to stop the pedophiles.
We're going to stop the pedophiles. Well, Gabe Hoffman made a documentary called An Open Secret. Incredible documentary exposing Bryan Singer as a pedophile. The Weinsteins. It was a big documentary a number of years ago.
Yeah.
So yes, we've opened our heart to the Jewish people. Jewtacular is coming.
Would you mind getting inside the oven?
What the fuck?
Bringing you to the foreign land. Just the best he can do.
Oh, get out here in the
Oh my God. This is the greatest show of all time. Holy shit.
It's the greatest show of all time, guys.
Bring the Negro and white neighborhoods just to make sure the district keeps voting left for good. You're in the
This is a classic, guys.
I get bombed, you're in the oven now.
What a classic.
Cheat and scam, steal all their wealth. No one gives a damn. You're in the oven now. I get bombed, you're in the oven now.
Oh my God. I'm gonna die.
Swastika flags flying over your head.
Look it up. Look what I did with the fucking cookies, buddy. Buddy, take a solid look at what I've done with this artistic
This is
design.
too much. This is too much,
It's like playing
Surfer.
the video game The Warriors.
This
When
is
you're
too
gonna
much,
play
dude.
The Warriors when you're doing the fucking...
Keeping it off.
You're doing the fucking... The spray paint.
You're in the oven now. You're in the oven now.
Classic.
It is, man. Like,
Yeah, ruined it.
You're in the oven.
I'm on their side. Whatever they're saying.
I know, man.
You tell the world about the Hebrews' way. You say Germans are villains, while you don't see.
That's right. This was the best episode of the KinoKasino.
You're in the oven now.
The Snickerdoodle Swastika episode.
You're in the oven now. You're in the oven. In the oven now. You're in the oven. In the oven now. At 616 degrees Fahrenheit. You're in the oven now. You're in the oven.
And this, of course, is all part of how people are misled by the
Famous
Jews.
Joffrey
It's
Goldstein.
all about misleading people and playing little games with words and all that sort of thing.
Gabe funded this. That's right. That's right, folks. Gabe funded this. Gabe funded it. You're absolutely right. But you know what? Let's check in on Dog Zero. What was he up to this weekend? Excuse me, Zog's Hero. Zog's Hero, Dog Zero. Let's see what he was up to this weekend, guys.
3,000 miles to kill you off the dark you left. I was so young, watching you bleed an adrenaline rush. 3,000 miles.
Guys, 1 in chat if this is Kino, 2 in chat if it's not Kino. I can't decide. Oh, 07, everybody in chat. Insane Hermit is back? Let's fucking go. This was Dog Zero's weekend, guys. He was at the Coin Merchant. He was in the Mongolian restaurant. Grilling some asparagus. The Kiwi coins, there they are, folks, in their protective casings to maintain their value. There they are. Okay, that was it. Now, I've got some questions. Frankly, I've got some questions because, you know, hold on. Let's run this back. Let's slow this down. There's a lot of questions that I have. Just right off the bat. First off, he didn't throw them. He kind of just let them go. Almost like Frodo attempting to throw the ring into Mount Doom. They were almost sticking to his hands. He almost just couldn't let those coins go. They fell from his hand. He didn't throw them. He didn't willingly let go. Almost as if a strong breeze carried them out of his hand. Now, this is a very shallow area here, perhaps a 1 foot, 2 foot deep. And we don't see the splash. We don't see these coins land. You know, is there a fishing line attached? We know a certain people love to use fishing line to subvert God's laws. I have a lot of questions. Did he immediately jump into the water afterwards and fish them out? Is there a B-roll? Is there a behind the scenes that we can get, Dog Zero, if you're out there? I still have questions. I feel personally you should have cast them out of recovery range, perhaps into deep ocean water, perhaps without the protective casings. I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not trying to be picky here, but I think we could have done a little bit better. You know, I admire the effort. I think perhaps we could have done a little bit better. I'd like to hear from Dog Zero. You know, I have some questions. Where was the splash? Why were they not thrown? Was there a string attached so you could fish them back up? Did you leap into the water after you turned the camera off after them? Many questions. We will find out. We'll inevitably hear from Dog Zero on this. But I have some questions. Anyway, let's get into the main part of the show. You know, I didn't even want to do this tonight. I had a very busy weekend. I was in the car over 20 hours this weekend. You know, I had quite an adventure. Many journeys were had, but it seemingly nobody covered the whole Josh Kiwi Farms arc. You know, House and Dog Zero, they read the initial post, but there was lots of additional posts that were missed. I want to go through the whole thing. I think we should go through the whole thing. I think we should do that. Let's play this Joffrey post real quick. Shout out to Joffrey. Josh is out of control. Josh, he's on drugs. Clearly, he's on drugs. He has no morality left. He has no sense of truth, of honor left. He's just posting the most insane stuff you could think. Like, where is this guy? What is he doing? Because when we sniped the total failure that was I believe this was on Thursday. When we sniped the failure that was the Switch 2 stream that the casino did, so many things were promised that were not delivered on. PPP was supposed to get fucked up. He was supposed to get hammered. They were supposed to play Switch all day. They barely played Switch at all. Worski just takes L's after L's, guys. He revealed himself to have, let me pull this up. We need to just refresh this all for everybody, because it's been a long weekend for me, maybe for others. Let me find this. So, hold on. Everybody was tweeting this out on Thursday. The Worski umbilical hernia. Let me pull this up. So, Worski has an umbilical hernia. Okay, so they did the show. Worski, gunt protruding, very disrespectful, looking fat as fuck. Reveals he has this growth on his belly button that's allegedly an umbilical hernia. I mean, Persip is a doctor. He diagnosed this. We looked up the evidence. It's on the last stream on the Rumble, guys. But yeah, it was ass Weewick. It was so terrible. All these guys do is lie now. All they do is just say that they're gonna do shit and then lie about it. PPP said he was gonna do whippets, right? Which everybody knew meant nitrous. He was like, "Oh, guys, I'm gonna be like Mercada. I'm gonna do the whippets." And then for 500 subs, which is like $2,500, a total scam. Which, by the way, a DSP, he scammed his audience. You know, and all the detractors side with the casino about this. They say, "Oh, DSP's a scammer. The casino, they're so awesome for making fun of DSP." And then the casino is even worse than DSP, really. And so they scammed the nitrous goal. Now they do the Switch marathon. PPP says he's going to do fire sales. He's going to do shots. He's drinking Modelo's, disgusting, barely Modelo. It's like he has to drink 20 of those, 30 of those, 40 of those at his body weight to get fucked up. And he drank like 3 of them. Okay. And then he kind of pretended that he was drunk. It was so embarrassing. And then they ate Burger King, some disgusting slop. DSP had delicious sushi that he got, and they were trying to own DSP. And they got this disgusting slop which is probably why Worski's gut is so distended, because he just ate a bunch of he got the poutine, which is slop on fries, and then it melts together into this disgusting glob. Probably 1,000 calories. He ate all that. Then he ate the burger, the maple burger, which even PPP tried to pretend like he wasn't eating the whole thing. When he ate it in 2 bites, but then he pretended like he only ate half of it. And so they did that in about 5 seconds. There was no review. There was no analysis of the burger, analysis of the meal. It was just like, okay, guys, we took a couple bites. And so, like, DSP will analyze the burger. He'll tell you what's on it. He'll describe the flavors. He'll say he at least puts effort into it, for Christ's sake. For Christ's sake, he at least puts effort into it. This is embarrassing. Okay? That's the sad part about them trying to own DSP, is they can't even do it better than DSP. They're grifting the same amount of money. Okay? They're grifting their audience the same, but they can't even deliver the same product to the audience, which is the review, which is the whippets, which is the fire sale. They can't even deliver the product to the audience. They have to scam everything. I don't understand why they feel the need to scam everything constantly. I think PPP's ego is just so out of control. He's just so out of control. He's so evil now. He truly has the devil in him. PPP does. He truly does, because he has zero, and it is like righteous to have zero respect for the pay pigs, but you know, you can't have it all, PPP, and eventually you're going to either die of a heart attack, you're going to be in the cabin again, and we are going to be here for it. By the grace of God, as God is my witness, we will be here for it, boy. We will be here to see the fall. Because everything you do now is just a lie, is evil, there's, everything. You can't do a single thing honestly, truthfully, not doing the irony bro shtick, which you used to make fun of everybody for doing, and then you go and do the same thing because you become what you've flanderized yourself, PPP, because at first it was ironic. You were ironically making fun of and pretending to be the people that you made fun of, and now it's real. Now that's who you truly are inside. Some people say it's who you always were. I don't know. Either way, that's what you are now, and that's what you always will be. But anyway, so we're caught up to speed. So I checked Kiwi Farms while that stream was going on. Josh was in the thread doing damage control. It was a total failure of a show. So Josh was in the thread, the Kiwi Farms, the KinoKasino thread on Kiwi Farms doing damage control. He was posting clips. We talked about it while we were doing the snipe. But then it got crazier. Okay? Then it got crazier. Because Josh... This guy, I guess, I don't know if they're in talks behind the scenes. I don't know if he's doing this willingly. I mean, Josh is such a spurg. He probably just did this on his own. PPP really probably didn't even have to give the order. Josh is, because I guess, I don't know if Josh views them as the cash. I think it's just Josh wants a friend. Honestly, I think that's what it is. I think Josh just wants a friend. Yeah, he's pignatized. He's literally pignatized by PPP. And I think because Josh is such a fucking loser, I don't think that Josh has a real friend in this world, an in real life friend in this world. I would bet a lot of money that to be the case. And no, his lawyer doesn't count. No, this fucking crazy cat lady that he's hired to do his bidding doesn't count, Josh. These people don't count. I'm talking about somebody who gives a fuck whether you live or die, that doesn't have any ties to your fucking website, your gay shit. He's not one of your Jannies. Nobody cares about you, Josh. Your family doesn't care about you. They'd like to see you dead. Half the people on the internet would like to see you dead. Myself included. You know, you don't have, and so Josh thinks that he's going to suck up to PPP, a man that's called him a pedophile, excuse me, a man that's spent years attacking Josh. And we'll get into all this. I want to go over the Dog Zero, because Dog Zero covered a lot of this. I saw a brief part of it. I want to just watch it. I want to hear his thoughts. Let's play Joffrey's video real quick, because Joffrey made a video on Josh. And then let's get into it. I'm super tired. So let's play this. I might be all over the place tonight. Like I said, I'm really tired.
Suddenly, this is me dealing with this fucking epiphany. At first, I'm thinking maybe no one else had that thought about it yet, and I had a good moment to reflect. Maybe this post I'm writing right now would be about that realization. Then Jim stops the audio, turns to the audience, and speaks directly to me, reading my thoughts back to 14,000 people. I wasn't fully grasping with the weird, gross fucking realization with Brian yet, but this specific moment where this man I have never fucking spoken with is saying what I'm thinking in front of enough people to fill a football stadium left me staggered. It was a genuine Truman Show moment, an out-of-body experience. As a kid, I used to think about all the human experiences I'd never have. I'd never be a king. I'd never be a woman. I'd never be black. I'd never be a part of the moon landing mission. I'd never see the Battle of Constantinople. And while those things are impressive and impossible to experience at this point, I can say with pretty much absolute conviction that no other human being will ever have a Fight Club level plot twist unveiled to them while a person they've never met reads their mind to a live audience of over 10,000 people. That's my human experience that I can keep to myself. And considering my life, that sounds appropriate.
This is what Josh thinks about, guys. I mean, this is, and this, Josh is kind of terrifying because you have to think this is what people, and this is why it's so fucked up, like what's happening to the younger generations. Like kids being born today, like they'll never know a world without the internet. They'll never know a world where their lives aren't totally integrated in the internet. Like they're not glued to a screen. Josh is the poster boy for what happens when you put a child in front of the internet all day and you give them unfettered access and they turn into a complete psychopath. They're not even human anymore. Josh is not a human anymore, okay? Josh is not savable. He hasn't been savable for a long time. He's not capable he's not capable of any sort of humanity, okay? He's like a robot. He's like a T-1000 from Terminator or something, okay? All that he could do is put a fucking bullet in his fucking skull, okay, and save us the rest of the evil that he's going to bring into this world, and that's the God's honest truth. This guy is a complete psycho. There is zero redeeming quality left in him. Josh, put a fucking bullet in your skull, dude. Please. Please, before you hurt other people. Before other people have to die because of you. Before other kids that are groomed by Medicare think it's cool to do the stuff that you do, to be on the internet all day and waste their fucking lives doing what you're doing. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking cares that the internet is preserved. Go outside, nigga. Turn the fucking phone off. Turn the fucking TV off. Go fucking outside. You know where the internet's not? It's not fucking outside, okay? The internet is not preserved. If you're outside, nobody gives a fuck. what is preserved and what isn't. Okay? That's the reality. This guy is so sick. He creeps me, he makes my fucking skin crawl when I hear his voice. He's totally insane. Okay. Let's hear Dog Zero talk about this. Let's listen to Dog Zero.
Just to show.
Shout out to Dog Zero, Zog's Hero. We got to get to the bottom of those coins, brother. Let's open up the Discord calls. I also want to get Persip's take on this. I tried to get Persip in here. We'll see if he calls in. But we're going to go through like the whole thread because here's the thing. After most of you have already seen this essay at this point. But Josh spent the last couple of days spurging out in the thread, replying to everybody. He's already banned like half the people that were actual casino A-logs. Everybody that's left is a casino cocksucker, a casino simp, and he knew that he had to clean it up, so he brought everybody in because, you know, when Josh shows up, all his fucking Jannies show up, all his little fag dick suckers show up. So
we have The Sector by Josh, where almost every line has something wrong with it.
Yes.
And a cope behind every piece of punctuation.
Yes.
So, what happens? KinoKasino does their supposedly all day, gonna get totally wasted. I swear, guys, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a super show again. We're gonna stab Jaden again type event. And what happens? They barely play the game. And to be fair, I did not watch all this, but you don't have to watch all of this because there's other people covering it, do a good job. And
true,
you know, there are those 07s in chat for the troopers who did kind of
07s.
They barely played the game. Most of it was just shitting
it was
on
me.
DSP
I did that
for, you know, not getting his Switch, but I'm pretty sure he eventually did at the end because they were making fun of him for playing it. So it's just like, what's even the narrative there? And, you know, PPP said he was going to get wasted. You're going to get another Starfish stream. Doesn't happen. Drinks like 3 Modelo's, which at his body weight, you know, is like the ambient alcohol in the air. You might as well just be like, I don't know, using like drinking disinfectant or something. And they did a promise where they said they were going to do whippets for money, and then he doesn't do whippets.
Well, if he actually drank disinfectant, that would be funny. He
hasn't just been PP pignatized. This has been a long time coming. But the point I'm trying to make at the outset here, and I don't know if anyone else has pointed this out, I don't think this came out of nowhere. And I know people said, oh, PPP ordered it. I don't think that's true either, just because of how just reflexive Josh can be. That's not to say that they're like beyond plotting. I'm just saying that in this case, I think literally what happened was there's like 5 pages in this thread that are shitting on them for how like the all day Mario Kart stream basically didn't keep any of its promise.
Okay, let's just go over that real quick. Okay, so let me refresh. So we're going to kind of follow along here. So this was on Thursday. This was during the stream. This was the image that we got during our stream. Somebody posted it on the Kiwi Farms. Everybody's making fun of them, right? There's no casino heads in sight, okay? There's no casino simps in sight. And then all of a sudden, look, see, they're making A-log pictures. Pudge everybody's roasting them. Worski sucks. Gunski, middle-aged ski. And then, whoa, it's Josh posting a casino clip. Oh, no. Oh, I can't even do a Josh voice. Forgot to post this one. And then he posts some dumbass. Nobody even cares. He posts some, guys, I'm laughing at the casino clip. It's so funny, guys. This casino clip, it's so hilarious. So Josh appears, okay, to clean it up. What a surprise. What a surprise. It's, of course, Josh loves the worst fucking show they've done in months and years. The casino. And then this guy says, you know, as dog shit as I think the casino has been of late, it's endearing you're such an unironic stan. It's endearing you suck PPP's cock after he called you a pedophile, said you should die, all that, which is true. This guy, I don't understand why he's incapable of putting on muscle. And then here it is. Friday afternoon, he posts his fucking essay. Look at this shit. This is like 10,000 words. So anyway, we'll hear Dog Zero read it. Yes, Janny Juice. Alric says it's almost as if his real moniker is Janny Juice. Deploying the JIDF, the Josh Internet Defense Force. Correct. So let Dog Zero take it away, sir.
And people are shitting on them, and starting all becomes Gunt comes back in the thread and starts posting the Andy Worski.
Josh hates that guy. Josh fucking hates that guy. Well, he'll say it in this. We'll get to that.
Streams CP shit.
He hates all the actual casino A-logs. And listen, I don't like all of them either. Like, some of these guys fucking suck. But, you know, we're all kind of brothers in arms, casino haters, with some exceptions, some notable exceptions. So, you know, it's hard to side with Josh against them.
And so then this comes out of nowhere. And like I said, there's like a...
Yeah, all it becomes Gunt. That I don't know if I'd say the last funny guy on the site, but he's one of the better posters in the... at least like maybe one of the top two. It's all becomes Gunt, and I can't remember the name of the other guy that posts good stuff in there, but he's like a top two poster in the casino thread for sure.
A revision and a cope in this fan fiction on almost every line. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do a reading first, and then we're gonna go through it. Okay,
he turns the music up too
to
much or whatever.
Is that I am probably the longest running unironic fan of PPP. I think maybe 99% of people who know him just think he kind of spawned out of a gutter one day and started KinoKasino with Andy Worski. But that's not the case. I don't think people even know PPP has a meaning. People's Populous Press, it's literally in the title of the thread. Back when Ralph was actually really popular and raking in thousands of dollars off of YouTube, the atmosphere of the internet was completely different. I could best describe the streamers between Gamergate and the end of the Trump admin as a patchwork of similar to the tiles of the floor of a mental institution.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate, he was another solid poster. Maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
Whoa, English 101. Locked in grout, respecting each other's boundaries. Not very interesting or transgressive. But even in hyper-censored days, there was an underground. And this was back when Cal was still a thing. What some people, notably Godwinson and then PPP, would do is just boot up streams and talk the maddest shit that's ever been talked. And we'll see who he was talking shit about here in a second. They'd use cheap webcams or their phone propped up against a wall with the worst audio quality ever. Godwinson in particular had rules, styled after Dogma 95, an informal set of avant-garde cinematography rules he called Kino Dogma 2007. Audio quality, video quality, and film style had to be on par with 2007 YouTube, which he called the peak of YouTube. Godwinson calling certain unintentionally artistic things Kino is where PPP got the word. They were also very anti-grifting. Back during Gamergate, Patreon and Super Chat were called hipster welfare, and it was a mark of
I'm sorry to pause it, but, you know, and this is the thing with Josh, like, he's so bad. He runs the lore website, right? He basically thinks of himself as the lore master, and yet he just gets everything wrong. I don't know if it's the drugs. I don't know if it's just him being low IQ. I don't know if it's his whole life being terminally online. He's just unable to remember things. And, you know, I can't talk. My memory's not so great either. but it's like, I don't, I'm not like the guy running Kiwi Farms. So I don't know what it is. I don't understand why Josh is so incapable of getting literally anything right ever. But, that's his life. That's how he's going to be forever, I guess. And this is no except maybe he does it on purpose in some cases. That's another theory, right? Maybe he just acts like this on purpose so he could lie and gaslight people and rewrite history. Who knows?
Shame to have one. There's very famously a video of Medicare ridiculing someone for having a Redbubble selling things like clocks and their logo in it. Ricky Big Al, whatever that guy's name is. So those were the rules. JWS and People's Populist Press.
Well, yes, Joffrey. So All Becomes Gunt and Baldur's Gate basically kind of led the resistance on Kiwi Farms against all the casino simps when the Medicare Masochist stuff happened and the Black Hookers thing happened. They led kind of the charge to regain control of the thread, and they were successful for a while, and then Josh used the excuse that everybody's reporting them. All the fucking faggot casino lovers, the casino heads, the casino fucking glazers were reporting these guys were in Josh's ear. Perhaps PPP himself was in Josh's ear. And that was something that they accused Dick Masterson of doing way back when. Actually, at Josh's expense, that fucked Josh over. Which again, that will get brought up later, right? Because he's been a PPP head since the beginning, the longest one, as a matter of fact. They did the same thing to Josh, and now Josh is getting the call from PPP to clean it up. So after a while, Josh basically banned a lot of the A-logs in the casino thread to clean it up, because he was getting too many complaints. So he basically did what he claimed didn't happen previously with Dick Masterson. And he cleaned it up, and now the A-logs are crawling back, and Josh, once again, has to come back in and clean everything up like the faggot he is. And that's what the report fact, he admits it. He admits, I never acted on all the reports I got about you, which, okay, like, yeah, it got kind of stale, but whatever. Like, fuck you, Josh. Kill yourself.
Press followed the rules, and the gambit was they were going to talk all the mad shit that the streamers and the organized for-profit streaming patchwork would never do. Where was it? Where was it? I look away for 1 second.
He lost where he was.
Reading. Don't worry, this is why we have editing. Lest they risk the well-established hierarchy and their position in it. Matt Jarbo is a good example of what happens to someone who upsets the balance and gets dressed down by all the big boys. JWS and PPP having absolutely no financial incentive and no real audience, and no rules to play by. So they'd prop their phone up against the wall, open Google Hangouts, and use that to stream to YouTube without using OBS. OBS was abominable to the Kino dogma. And then just air out all the laundry about the then untouchable Ethan Ralph. Now, normally, a coked-up Angloid and a big fat guy streaming to an audience of 40 people, I was one of them, should not upset the guys making tens of thousands of dollars doing the easiest job ever created. But it did.
Old fag
Even
Josh.
The audience was 6,000 people on a good day. I don't know about that. The 100 or so Anons on Cow sharing clips of GWS PPP bullying Ralph drove him so up the wall, he'd start arguing anonymously in his own defense. They all did this, by the way. All those big boy streamers read Cow and would white knight themselves. I'm sure even Andy Worski did it. PPP's real gift as a performer is his background as a youth pastor. He has a classic American Southern Baptist style fire and brimstone way of casting condemnation on people, even when he does it without religious context. though religious condemnations were way more common for him during this era, it is still very compelling. This is also where Coach Red Pill comes in, despite Coach not even being relevant to anything I've mentioned. For some reason, he loved Cal. He loved shit-talking streamers, and he had this enormous dating YouTube channel, but would still randomly post 3-minute videos of himself making fun of Ethan Ralph on Cal. He really thought GWS and PPP were the coolest kids on the block, and he coveted their approval, which clearly I do too after making this post. Over the years, 3 big things change. Medicare becomes a grifter, and by proxy, whatever Medicare does is okay for everyone else to do, because he is always the top dog in the hierarchy. Godwinson had a falling out with PPP. Without Godwinson to preach the dogma, PPP appears to have stopped caring about it. And 3, Mad at the Internet started. AD, before and after Mad at the Internet.
Josh just jerking himself off here.
Podcast about internet drama in the sector for a long time. I believe that he looked at Medicare and said, I can grift better than that. Looked at Godwinson and said, I don't need that anymore. And looked at me, even though he didn't fight, whatever, we'll get to this. And looked at me and said, I can do that with more energy. And also can pronounce words with more than 3 syllables. So being someone with approximately 0 technical know-how, he called up the most senior streamer he somehow stayed on good terms with, despite saying that he would want to kill him mere weeks before this occurred, and said, let's do a show. I'm gonna make you rich, buddy. That's my theory. Early KC, I really didn't like. It was, and still is, very loud. However, the biggest improvement is literally just that PPP will talk over Andy without mercy now. I saw it was successful, but I didn't like it. I developed Stockholm Syndrome for KC after I started needing to do work after about 8 p.m. And for some reason, their time slot would occupy 8 p.m. to 4 a.m., which is exactly when I had shit to do. You might notice by this point, by the way, that I just refer to the KinoKasino as a whole by just saying PPP, my Lord and Master. I honestly do have a hard time saying nice things about Worski. We have had precisely 1 interaction before KinoKasino, and that was during the Tonkasaw boxing event. He had a really big chimp out with me on air and started calling his boxing promoter a dumb whore and all sorts of other awful shit while I was just going Worski over and over again in disbelief. But some reason, she didn't care at all and let him fight still. It's not that I don't like him at a personal level. I just don't really have anything to say about him. I've never discussed this with PPP, but I think the reason he's kept with Worski is either out of a sense of loyalty or my current theory is that Worski actually does a ton of show prep and generally does good work with the production that PPP doesn't think he can easily replace or do it by himself. I don't mean operating OBS, even though that's literally all he does. I mean watching hours of footage, clipping stuff, paying attention to news vectors that people like me do not pay attention to, totally don't pay attention to. Knowing basically everyone who has ever made appearances in the sector off the top of his head. I think those kind of things have immense, intangible value. So huge, too long didn't read, but PvP has always been one of the most transgressive shit stirrers in the sector. And what makes him really unique is that he did it for more than half a decade without taking a paycheck, just because he thought people like Ralph and Okada were sinners who didn't deserve the bounties they had been given. His turn from anti-grifter to grifter was an honest to God, the city deserves a better class of criminal situation.
Insane take, by the way. Absolutely insane.
So, again,
yeah, Joffrey, fucking Josh hates Medicare. He fucking does hate Medicare. So, but I they're also part of the the sweepy squad. So I don't know that they'll ever go to war. I don't know. Maybe Josh thinks he has enough clout at this point. I really don't think so, but we'll see. These things will eventually fall apart.
Like almost every line of this is just straight up fan fiction. So let's just start at the beginning. We're gonna go through all this.
Yes.
So first of all,
shout out again to Dog Zero for doing all the hard work here. Yoko, my favorite A-log. I was wondering when you would show up, sir. Yeah. Josh, when Jim dies, which will never happen, yeah, Josh will snake him then.
The all-night longest unironic fan of PPP is fucking insane to say. After we watch some of these, because we're gonna look at what PPP had to say about Josh. Just this clip 2 years ago. This is when it was still Kino Casino.
See, Dog Zero did all the hard work. He has all the clips ready.
This is apparently when he. I know it says 1 year, but this is a re-upload. See, 2020, 5 years ago. So we're gonna see what PPP actually was saying while Josh was one of his longest unironic fans. Okay. So I think maybe 99% of the spawned out of the gutter one day and started Kino Casino. Now, I will agree that a lot of the current Kino Casino fans are like this. They have no idea about PPP's past, because if they would, they wouldn't put up with it. If they watched the swastika snickerdoodle stuff, which was hilarious, or basically anything with Surfer, they would disavow because they're all a bunch of normies. So there's some...
This is pretty much true. I agree with this. It's actually kind of crazy to think that... pretty much all the fans, even people who watch Jim, people who watch Josh, all of these people, for the most part, started watching around the Kino Casino era. They have no idea anything that happened before. They don't know Mediker's past. They don't know Josh's past. They don't know PPP's past. They don't know any of the lore on these guys. They don't know any of the real Ralph lore other than what they've been fed. It's kind of crazy, but that's where we're at. There's just like a few old heads out there, a few, old fag gators out there that still know all this lore. True, Ralph Acun. They're all new fags, and they should all kill themselves.
The truth to this. The thing is, he's posting it in exactly the place where it's the least relevant, which is... this thread. Half the people in this thread are people who were either fans of him back in 2020 or have been following the story, essentially. I mean, there's a whole, I know not all the A-logs of KC are like this, but there's a whole faction of the A-logs of KC who are literally just A-logs because they don't like how PPP turned on all of his previous I don't want to say principles, but
I think that's most of the casino A-logs. Because PPP was very popular for a long time. I myself enjoyed the PPP streams until he became a gigantic faggot who actually turned out everything that he said before was a total lie. Or he was willing to sell every single principle that he had down the river for money, for e-fame, for, F-list celebrity e-fame.
So this is just hilarious. I don't think people even know PPP has a meeting, People's Populist Press. So it's literally in PPP's thread. It's not in this one, but I bet you it's on the first page. I bet you. So it does link to him back when he was still using it as his name on Twitter. Yeah, no, and I don't blame people for being an A-log because they went back on everything, because there was...
Yeah, I mean, the People's Pot, it's like, okay, Josh, yeah, you're the fucking old fag expert, dude. His real name, people don't know his real name is People's Populist Press. Yeah, wow. Epic, that changes nothing. There's no real meaning behind that name, and if there is, it's long irrelevant.
Good stuff back in the day. It was fun. It was Kino, right? And he just went back on all of it. And it's interesting the parts of the story that all changes, because there's a reason why PPP went against it, and it wasn't Mediker, and we'll get to that. So this is just hilarious, saying that people don't know what it means, considering it's literally in the title of his thread. So back when Ralph was really popular and raking $1,000 off YouTube. Okay, when was the heel stream? Sector quiz game, everybody.
2018, 2018, guys.
2018, right? It was in 2018. PPP's oldest videos. So then there was the Bitwave arc, right? When people were getting paid money to be the top guy on Bitwave. And there was a whole bunch of Kino that came out of that. That is when PPP started to get an audience. And that's when the Starfish stream happened. So this is just bullshit. I'm pretty sure that PPP's really started making stuff after the heel stream, which is after Ralph got off YouTube. So this is an error. The atmosphere of the internet was completely different. I could best describe the streamers between Gamergate and the end of Trump. So this means nothing. Okay, this is like what we call. This is a
It's nonsense slop.
This is a simile without a purpose. Also, respecting each other's boundaries. The whole point
Josh
of
just
is
word vomiting.
On the website, which is why everyone was swinging at each other. Remember the Kitty Styles Stream.me? Sorry, yes, not Bitwave.
Yeah, Stream.me.
So many of these. There was like a period.
Bitwave is Xander's platform that got turned into Odyssey,
where there was all of these like streaming, all these like alt ones. You're right. It was Stream.me, and it was owned by the Texans who got it shut down, even though they still had money. Yeah, on the Sargon videos, exactly. But the point is that
Bitwave was actually like a crazy platform. I don't know if anybody remembers like the B-roll that they would show on there. Bitwave was a Kino platform. I will say, they had like all these B-roll clips that they would play that were really cool. You could basically show anything on there. Bitwave was a cool platform.
PPP was not going hard on Ralph when Ralph was still on YouTube.
Yeah, the Aqua.
So we have
the
this,
Gator
this
Aqualad video. That was a good one, Alistair. That's a classic PPP stream.
Respecting each other's boundaries. And I'll cover this. I'm planning on making
PPP really does have a lot of classic streams. A lot of streams he did with Godwinson. A lot of the twin streams are classic streams. Everybody that like hates, if you just hated everything PPP did, I mean, I don't know. I don't agree with that. Surfer was very Kino. Surfer, there's a lot of hilarious stuff Surfer and PPP did.
Like a pre-recorded video where I literally go through how from Gamergate till now, basically the sector is born out.
Yeah, it was like Burzum. It was like an Adult Swim style, like bumper type. Yeah, it's exactly what it was.
Out of a community, two communities fighting, one community wins, and then that community splits to make the next two that fight over and over and over. Yeah, stop stalking.
JMK arc, perhaps their best arc.
So
perhaps
this
their
idea
best
that people
arc.
were patchwork is totally wrong. People were the peak of IBS was 2017, 2018, and all that. And then after that, Bitwave, a lot of that was people just shitting on each other or not Bitwave. I keep saying that. Sorry, Stream.me is people shitting on each other to get to the top rank. So this is just this is a simile without a meaning. Not very interesting or transgressive. Literally, they were on like the jankiest ass web.
Well, Joffrey, it's like they say, it's easier to go through the eye of the needle. Right. You can do it, but it's very hard.
Website that you to be as fucking insane as possible. I don't know what planet this guy was living on. He was living on planet Kiwi. Well, no, that's what I don't understand. Because all this stuff was recorded on Kiwi Farms. He could have known all this just looking at his own fucking website. But even in the hyper censored days, there was an underground. Okay, and he's talking about cow and everything. Godwinson and PPP would do is just boot up. Yes. Okay, sure. They talk. That's true, I guess. They do. Yes. The Kino Dogma. Now, I want to talk about Kino Dogma here because I have a very pretentious theory about Kino Dogma. I know you guys like when I talk about stuff like this. My theory is that Godwinson invented Kino Dogma, and it was Godwinson who invented it, even though it's PPP who made the video. That is a revision by PPP that he wrote it. That's not true. Godwinson came up with it. And I think that it was specifically a lolcow generator matrix. Okay? Because think about what the rules of Kino Dogma 2007 are. You have to show your face, so you dox yourself. Less than 10 minutes, so it's accessible for people who just want to immediately see it. You specifically are supposed to spurg out. That's like one of the rules. No scripting, so you're going to like accidentally say shit you don't mean. You're going to do all this stuff. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll get to that. He's fabricating a reality. No, you're totally right. That's why I said, like at the beginning of the stream, that in the sector where the past is a multiple choice equation, Null has chosen to essentially damnato memoriae what really happened and put up his own edifice of lies to cover for KinoKasino. The problem is that there are all these. There's like still these records on Rumble and stuff that I'll get to that just show that it's total bullshit. So Kino Dogma 2007, I literally think that Godwinson designed the rules, not with that much thought. It's not that complicated. so that anyone who ever followed them completely would turn themselves into a lolcow because they dox themselves, they speak unscripted, and they do a bunch of stupid shit. And let's all think for a moment, who was the first person to follow the
I mean,
rules
I
that
don't
he
know.
set?
It's an interesting theory. I don't know if that's the case just because Godwinson did that, but I don't know. Interesting theory.
It wasn't PPP. PPP was number 2.
It is true, though, that that's basically what happens if you follow Kino Dogma.
I really think that he thought that he was going to turn him into a lolcow. And you could say he is now. Like, fair enough. But the original plan was for him to, I think, follow these rules and be the one on camera. And eventually it turned into a more collaborative relationship because it turned out you could get PPP to do even crazier shit, like slam tacks into his face. But, like, this idea that there's actual, like, an artistic... Yeah, Jahans, exactly. And you can go find all the old videos like Godwinson made of Jahans. Basically, if you take all the rules from Kino Dogma, you can apply them all to Jahans videos and why Godwinson liked him. But PPP was supposed to be the next one. And you can see Godwinson try to turn more people this way. Like, who was the guy who randomly did a stream? This guy was literally in the sector for 2 seconds. You can go find him in the Godwinson thread. But he
Well, that's the thing. Actually, it's funny you say that, Joffrey, because... they had to start the clip channel because nobody was clipping them. Like, basically nobody clipped the casino unless they had, like, you know, Metacaron or something crazy happened. Basically nobody was regularly clipping them. And so they kind of had to start doing it themselves. And then they were like, oh, we could make money off this.
Playing Fallout New Vegas where he showed his face and then immediately got doxxed and found out that he was like a convicted sex offender against children. He's a pedophile. There's a couple of people he's used it against. And so, like, that's why he'll, like, clutch pearls about the rules and stuff, because the idea is you follow the rules to create, like, an infinite content matrix. The problem is, like,
let's skip forward a little bit.
Troll Hunter 666, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't remember his name. The other one was the guy who was underage. I'm not going to say his username because he was underage when he was posting. But that guy, he tried to turn him into make him follow the rules too. But anyway, so that's the whole thing with Kino Dogma 2007. It's funny. It's like a funny.
No,
idea,
I don't think he was talking about Rudy.
It does create great content. Just keep in mind that it's great content for the audience, not for the person doing it, because then they get turned into the content. And the fact that he does
because Rudy did show his face, and then he got doxxed
in Godwinson's thread. And even though it's something that I think pretty much everybody agrees on now, is ridiculous. Also, that PPP got Kino from Godwinson. Let me tell you the etymological origin of the term Kino in the sector. So basically, after Poll got completely destroyed after the 2016 election, Xenos is another one, but there's Troll Hunter 666 is the other guy. Anyway, after Poll got destroyed after the 20.
Well, Boober Lee wasn't just clipping like the casino. Like Boober Lee was clipping PPP and all them, and then putting the ads on it, putting it behind a paywall. And so then PPP went to war with her. And then she actually did the what was her channel that she still uploads on? I just saw her upload the other day. What is that fucking channel with the mainly the Ralph, the Sunset, what the fuck is that called? Anybody remember? Hold on. Let me try and find it. She just uploaded it. Yeah, Sunrise Productions. And she made a couple videos about the casino. Some of them are gone now, but she just uploaded a video actually.
2016 election because a whole bunch of power brokers.
Sunrise or Sunset
they thought,
Productions,
at least,
yeah.
that they could actually influence elections with it. So it got overrun with bots even more than it was before, and all of that gay shit. A lot of the people who are making like the funniest shit posts moved to TV, which is why like there was I know, I'm getting there. There's just why TV had a renaissance between 2017, 2018, and I would say into 2019. And specifically, the term Kino comes from a fake USC PowerPoint presentation that lists the like tiers of film, and it's fake, but it like whoever made it look really real, like it's from
that channel is still active. Hold on. Yeah, see, 5 days ago. The last video was 8 months ago. There is some casino stuff on here. Yeah, Warski shakes his ass for super chats.
But you're out there doing
I stole this clip and uploaded it to my Rumble. But anyway, yeah. She's Booberly's still out there, fat as ever.
Lecture course. And it says on there that the highest.
Yeah, she's trying to get it on the Rakita Grift.
And so then obviously on TV, everybody started calling things kinography. And that's where it came from. Godwinson didn't fucking invent this term. It's also where he got the idea of calling it Kino Dogma. Like these guys are not the fucking demiurge here. The demiurge is always the chat. The demiurge is always the anon. It's always the internet mujahideen.
Dog Zero is somehow Gator level old fag. I don't know how he knows all this stuff, but he's Gator level old fag, guys. If he ever says he doesn't know something, question that.
The unnamed psychic mass that like posts this shit without any credit, and then people steal it. Okay, that is where it all comes from. They were all very anti-grifting. Well, yeah, because if you don't have a platform and you don't have an opportunity to make money off it, the natural position to take is anti-grifting. This is like a strategic choice. I don't think there was any principle involved here. Back during Gamergate, hipster welfare, sure.
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Principle or not, I think there is some principle there. Because, like, the reality is, like, once you start getting money, the content always suffers. Like, everybody knows it. It's, you know, there's not even an argument that that's not the case.
Medicare went completely back on his word on grifting. And it, like, is one of the most, I guess it's as radical as PPPs, although PPP didn't do it because of Medicare. Yeah, there's tons of old videos, even, like, Jim81 Jim videos. And what he's talking about with the clocks, he's talking about, it wasn't Big Al 2K6. It was the other guy. The guy who died. Who am I thinking of? I remember his real name than I remember it. But anyway, yes. So they were making fun of that. And PvP brings this up all the time. By the way, he brings up this guy selling the clock faces. So those were the rules. Dude, he's talking about, like, okay, I like the idea of turning some of the stuff in the sector into, like, a story. Into, like, this, you know, play it up, kind of like the WWE aspect. But the way he's talking about this is so fucking gay. Because it takes agency away from so many actors who were, like, more... Helsing, yes. Yes, you're totally right. It is Helsing. He's taking agency from so many actors and from so many, both, like, not just the Anons in the chat, but other people. Like, it's funny because he gives us this narrative that they were streaming to 40 people, totally irrelevant, but then also they're apparently ones setting the rules. So the gambit, like, there was not this much thought put into it. Like I said, it was just, we are on platforms that don't make money, so we're anti-make money. That's it, and that's fine. Like it was cool, it was funny, and it was
well.
Good.
They
was
were on platforms
and
that could make money. I mean, they were on YouTube. It was just the decision not to make the money. I don't know. I don't know that it was necessarily a strategic thing. I think PPP and Godwinson were genuinely anti-grift until PPP was in the cabin and it was make or break time, and he sold his soul. He died there.
And that's fine. The well-established hierarchy. This is the other thing that's complete bullshit. If there's anything that you learn from reading all these old threads and the old shit about the sector,
some people probably disagree.
Well-established. At any moment, people can come out of nowhere and just destroy. PvP himself should know this because he destroyed Rakeda and Dick Masterson, basically coming out of nowhere from their perspective in the infamous stream where he goes on and gets Dick to have a melty about being prom king. So, like, the whole point of, like, this
which is why the casino doesn't do callers. They never, like, everything is in their own little bubble, which is why Josh Medicare, they've created this, you know, sanitized bubble that they live in, because they know that they would get fucking raped if they let some of these people come in. And if they opened, you know, if it was really biggest fish in the sea, they would get fucking raped by someone who would just come in there, and so they can't have that. They can't have that. We cannot have that again, right? Shut it down, lock everything down, sanitize it. In a lot of ways, they're like leftists, they're like liberals. They're like the people that they preach against, right? Because they know if it was just up to, the law of the jungle, they would lose. Because nobody really, truly wants that, right? When the sector was at its peak, its most entertaining. Oh, look, there's Housemeister in the chat. It couldn't be. That was the best content that there was. Right now, it's like slop. It's commercialized. It's processed that they can just pump out to these fucking retards that will just consume. That just want to consume. They want the 8-hour stream to listen to at work. They just want to consume.
Is that the hierarchy is fluid?
Oh my God, Yoko! Yoko, call in. Call in, Yoko. You told me that you don't watch every stream that I do, but you do, Yoko. You know why? Because you have nothing else fucking going on in your life, so you have to come watch the Mr. K, the KillKinoKasino stream, boy. And you're here in chat every single time. Just consuming the Mr. K content. You're like my slave, Yoko.
And that you have,
boy,
it's the Sahara, it's the internet Serengeti, like I said. Matt Jarbo didn't upset the balance. He was just a flag it and dumb enough to show it. That's it. GWS and PPP having absolutely no financial incentives and no real audience. Again, if they have no audience, then how are they the ones setting the rules? This is true, yes. They without using OBS. So this is untrue. They did use OBS sometimes, but they would specifically say that whoever knew how to use OBS was the OBS roach slave.
See, Yoko, you're the one in chat just whining 24/7. All the entire time the stream is going on. You did it the last stream. You did it the stream before that. Oh, I don't watch all your streams. What are you talking about? Yet every time you're here, I was just waiting for you to pop up. You dance for me. Call in, Yoko, you fucking coward. But you won't do it because you're a pussy.
OBS roach slave, called such many times, is the current King Catamite of the KCA logs, Perspicacity. He was the OBS roach slave for a time.
Oh, Persip, no.
And then Air Out Their Laundry, the then untouchable Ethan Ralph. Again, first of all, ironic you're saying this because we're going to get into some of the old videos here where PPP accuses Josh of sweeping for Ralph at the very beginning of when Ralph kind of got turned. When Ralph was starting to go off his bloody rocker and people were starting to criticize him more, there was some sus shit that occurred with Josh moving threads around and things.
True.
Yep, Kraut ran it, Brian ran it, exactly. I'm not even going to talk about Kraut, but that's a whole nother part of this. So yeah, the idea who's untouchable, if he was at any point untouchable, it was because Josh covered for him for a period, and other than that, no. A lot of people were criticizing him. No, normally a coked up Andaloid effect guy streaming I was one of them.
Right. People don't mention that PPP was originally a Ralph fan, and that he only turned on Ralph because Ralph made fun of him for showing his asshole. And then because he got kicked out of his church for showing his asshole because people doxed him, he lied and said that Ralph called his church. And then later, and he used that story for years and then finally admitted it later.
This is so gay for him to say this. I like to criticize Persip, but I'll give him credit for one thing. He's pointed out how if every single person who has said that they were one of PPP's 40 viewers PPP would have been bigger than Ralph at the time. There's a lot of people who say that they were there for some of these videos. And I think he's right to call that out. And so then for Josh to say this is bullshit, because like I said, I'm going to play some of these clips. And do you really think that a guy like this, who's completely reflexive, who, as I'll show you, because I'm going to go through the gym thread post too, about how he bounces between his positions on that. Do you think a guy like that could listen to some of the stuff PPP's going to say here and not spurk out if he was actually watching it live? And I'll be honest about my own history. I didn't watch a lot of these live. I probably started watching some of them live in 2021. I did watch the Chaga debate and stuff, but I did not watch all of these live. I started watching maybe like when I could catch them around 2021, 2022, and I watched some of the archives and stuff, which is why I was able to pull these things up. But to say that you were one of the actual people who live viewer watching it there is just bullshit. And not only that, but I don't even think it really matters that much. Like to brag about it makes it like lame. Audience was 6,000. This is a lie. Okay, and the way I know this is a lie, it's not 6,000 people. So Ralph was one of the biggest streams on YouTube. I'll give him that. But he was not on YouTube by the time of this period that he's talking about. Like I said, the heel stream was in 2018, man. When PvP is streaming with God.
That is true. Ralph was on like D Live. Ralph was on Odyssey. Ralph was on basically any platform that would have him until he went to Rumble.
Godwinson, and the way we can timeline this is we actually know when Godwinson met up in real life, because there's the Golden Guns 2020. Golden Guns 2020 is
that was amazing, by the way.
Camera.
If you've not seen the Golden Guns 2020, go watch that.
PPP, Godwinson, and I think PPP's brother or Surfer in the middle, sitting between them. I have that memory. And so we know that was around 2020. So at least 2 years after Ralph got kicked. And Ralph was not getting 6,000 fucking people after he got kicked off YouTube. So this is just, again, this is, they'd say it's, he would try to say what like PPP says about this. I'm gilding the lily, I'm whatever. And, you know, I guess a counter argument is, why does it matter? Why do these details matter and stuff? Some of the details here are not that important. I'm just kind of playing it up. But other ones here,
Ralph probably had his biggest audience post YouTube, like, on Cozy. I mean, if we're being real, you know, he was pulling in so much money. He had a lot of real, actual people watching.
I'm pointing out because they serve a rhetorical purpose in rewriting history for these new KC fans who don't know any of this shit. The 100 or so Anons on Cow sharing.
Yeah, like, right, exactly. Imagine all the fucking new fag KinoKasino heads that are going to now reference this, and this is going to be like the guide, right? You'll see him on Twitter, you'll see him in chat. This is how they're going to now describe what the sector was pre-KinoKasino.
Clips, bullying Ralph, drove him up the wall. Yeah, so then they started fighting. Sure, whatever. They all did this. Yes. And I'm sure, no, we know Andy Worski did it too, because there's a certain anecdote that he doesn't bring up here that I'd like to tell. I'd like to share with the people in chat, who I'm sure you guys all know this, because you guys know this stuff. But what was it that Andy Worski spurred out about on Cow? It was about Coach Red Pill, who's mentioned later in here, doing a tribute to his sister and posting it on Cow. And he had a fucking melty about it. But no, he doesn't mention that, even though he said, I'm sure Andy Worski did it too. Again, this is intentional. This is one of these illusions that I think is intentional. It's not just, oh, I'm getting the timeline wrong on when Ralph was popular. PvP's
and also why Coach made the Andy Worski, the famous Andy Worski video.
In his background as a youth past. Yeah, this is just sad. Like this kind of like scum sucking. Yeah, your sister. And the reason why is it's because,
yeah, I want to watch that the Stardew Valley video. Yeah, we'll watch that later. We just got to get through all this shit.
Mention here is, why isn't PPP a pastor? Why? It's because he got thrown out of his church. Why did he get thrown out of his church? Because he said
showed
Ralph
his asshole.
But Ralph didn't. It later got revealed, and PPP admitted that it wasn't Ralph who did that. So like, he brings this up and then doesn't explain why he didn't become a pastor.
He's not even Southern Baptist. He's fucking Church of Jesus Christ or whatever they call it.
Specifically because he continues to flaunt his religion around. A weird fucking religion, by the way. I mean, I have my own issues with certain aspects of like general Protestant theology, but he's like super retard Protestant theology, the church he's from. Where, like, you're not allowed to play music.
Is like Dog Zero a Cath cuck? Is he a Cath cuck, guys? Is this known? Oh, no.
I don't mean like no worship band. I mean at all. And...
Yeah. No offense to any of the based Catholics in chat, guys. The trad Caths in chat.
I mean, he's good at going on these rants. The thing is, we've heard these same rants for 5 years on KinoKasino. That's why some of the people who listened to it at the beginning, who maybe liked it at the beginning, even though there was problems there too, but those people are even getting tired of it because it's the same 5 Bible verses over and fucking over again. This is also where Coach Red Pill comes in. I don't even know why he brings Coach. I mean, Coach is Kino. I'm glad Coach is getting some credit here. And apparently Coach is alive. That's what the internet mujahideen is telling me. I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna try to construct a good theory about that. Again, he's mentioning Coach here and Andy Worski, but not about the tributes and stuff. And also, like, not mentioning the Godwinson videos on Coach, which are like all-time greats.
Again,
Okay.
like, you know, we used to have a real community. Like, the sector used to be a real community. There was like tons of different people. There were all kinds of petty beefs and squabbles, people making videos, fighting with each other. Like, it didn't used to be just fucking Casino, Josh, and Medicare just talking about the same shit every fucking time. Just the same fucking slop garbage. You know, we used to be a real country. We used to be a real people. The sector used to be real. And now this is fucking where we're at. This is why everything fucking sucks now. And it's so insane. Like, I don't know if, I guess Josh really believes this stuff because I just don't understand how anybody in their right mind could think that what we have now is better than what we had before. Even just like reading this bullshit that Josh wrote and like thinking back and reminiscing over all the crazy videos, all the crazy arcs that happened. This is where we are.
So, coveted their approval. There is some proof that Coach kind of had a weird.
You know, where we are is I have to fucking make streams. I am not like that great of a streamer. I am not that good of a host of a speaker, but I have to fucking do this shit because everything has been pissed away, has been squandered by those who came before us. This is where we're fucking at. Me and Dog Zero and fucking Housemeister have to pick up the fucking pieces. And it's fucking bullshit. I didn't even want to fucking do this. But here we are.
Ideation about Godwinson, but I don't know if I would go this far. What this looks like to me is fucking projection. Is that Josh doesn't want KC to have a weekly Josh segment, right? Over the
exactly.
Years,
if I don't, who will?
Big things change. Medicare became a grifter, which is true. Godwinson had a falling out with PPP. Notice that this does not point out, first of all, when this occurred, because the actual final falling out with PPP occurred far later. It occurred far later because that was when he brought Godwinson on to do the flamenco takedown, and then there was a whole disaster after that. That was way after Medicare being Medicare was already talking about COVID.
Compelling argument, Squire Chad. Compelling argument.
So that was like years later. And without Godwinson still made streams. He still made streams even after the blow up over the flamenco thing. There are actually some really good ones. There's some bad ones too, which is why he went away, and that's a whole nother conversation. But there are some good streams after that, so he was still doing his thing. Just because you stopped watching him, Josh, doesn't mean he just disappeared, okay? Object permanence, buddy. PPP
I don't think Persip didn't create PPP. His real crime was lifting him up from the gutter and saving him. That was Persip's crime. It wasn't creating PPP. It was when he was at his lowest moment, when we could have, you know, snuffed the baby in the crib, so to speak. He saved him.
Stop caring about it. No, okay. Again, Kino Dogma 2007 was always just a lolcow generation matrix, and I think even PPP figured that out by the end. I don't think either of them really cared about it as much as you seem to care about it and think that it's some kind of ideological axis. And then this is potentially one of the most delusional lines in the whole thing. Mad at the Internet started and was the most successful podcast about internet drama for a long time.
Now, Josh is just fucking jerking himself off. I mean, fuck you, Josh. Like, are you serious, dude? The casino is like bigger than Josh. I mean, like, I don't know where he gets off talking like this.
So when I was still watching,
and their viewers are both fake, by the way. Like, just for the record, Their viewers are both fake. You know, PPP the other day when they were reviewing that old cat lady, Ehor, Mama K, no relation. They were like, PPP said, "Oh, you came on a stream with 6,000 viewers." No, they don't have 6,000 viewers. Try 600 viewers. And Josh on Rumble, dude. Let's be real. I'm on Rumble. Rumble fucking bots. I don't know. I don't know the ratio in which they bot, but I know for a fact Rumble bots. I mean, that's just the reality, guys. The only platform that doesn't bot is YouTube. That's why when they were on YouTube, they didn't even have close to this audience, even though obviously YouTube is the superior platform. So let's, everybody knows this.
Like 2020.
Josh does not have all the viewers he says he does. He's not as popular as people think he is. He's on fucking Rumble, guys.
I don't know if I watched it in 2021. I'm not going to make any claims on that because I don't remember.
And the only reason I'm on Rumble is so I don't have to deal with bullshit. I can say whatever I want. I can play whatever I want, and there's no problems. And you know what? Honestly, that's why everybody should be on Rumble. I know it sucks. I know it's fucking lame. But you can basically, if you're like you can do whatever the fuck you want. You could probably show porn on here. You could show, I disavow that. Don't do that. But I'm saying you could basically show whatever you want until people find it and report it. Like there's no auto reporting system on Rumble. Like you can show whatever the fuck you want on Rumble within reason. As long as somebody doesn't report you, I mean, it's objectively the best platform. Except for and the advertisements are based, by the way. It sucks that I have to force ads on. I wish I didn't have to do that. But the ads are hilarious. The ads are crazy. Just the insane shit that they show on the ads. The ads are awesome. Buy 1776 coffee. Click on the ads.
It was getting less than 1,000 views. Okay, Godwinson's stream, it was competitive with Godwinson's streams. Not only that, but it's really disingenuous to compare the viewership audience of Mad at the Internet and with the sector at large.
Yeah, that's why Ralph likes Rumble, because you can do whatever you want. And it sucks, you can't do it on YouTube, but it's, it is what it is. Even Kick, that's the thing about Kick. The casino all the time. Worski, oh my god, you can't say that. We're on Kick. Jenny, the chat, we're on Kick. We have to cuck. That, dude, Kick is the same as YouTube, basically.
The sector at large, the people who were watching that eventually made Mad at the Internet start to get more viewers. I don't know what he gets now. What does he get? 2,000? I don't know. Whatever he gets now. A majority of those are, first of all, not even really Kiwi Farms users. Second of all, they're pretty normie, and a lot of it is the sort of turf people he picked up reporting on the transgender issues things. So to compare Mad at the Internet, to say that PPP wanted to steal the Mad at the Internet audience is delusional. Now you might say that Casey's audience now is pretty normie, but there's no way that PPP looked into his fucking golden mirror and could see that coming 5 years ahead of time, because that's only kind of a recent phenomenon. And just the idea that it was...
Well, yeah, exactly. Josh got big because Medicare and the casino and Josh all fucking teamed up and boosted each other. That's why Josh is in the position he is now. Plus, after the whole tranny thing where they tried to Josh being as popular as he is a recent phenomena. Josh was not always this popular. Josh is a fucking loser. Okay? And it's only recently that Medicare's tapped him into this audience of fellow losers and faggots and pedophiles and lolicons and VTubers and shit that Josh has become this popular.
He'd probably say that this is sarcastic. That's probably what he would say. But when the rest of this is so just wearing your heart on your sleeve for being the longest running on our,
we gotta speed this up.
How is people supposed to read sarcasm into that? That's just ridiculous. I believe that he looked at okay, so this is a gigantic fucking massive lie. Here's the actual reason why PPP flipped on grifting. It's a combination of two things. Just like most things, it's supply and demand. It's need and opportunity. Need and opportunity. If someone has the need and the opportunity, they will do it. What was
it was because he got kicked out of the house and he has zero career prospects. He was really fat. He claims he's injured. He can't fucking walk around. And he was stuck in a cabin with nowhere to go. That's why he did it.
It was the cabin shit. It was that PPP had no income stream because he had been thrown out by Surfer after that whole breakdown. And so he was freezing in the cabin. And of course, there's a very esoteric there's a channel called Esoteric PPPism. He was pretty fucking crazy. But I know that people don't like some of the more pretentious stuff about this sector. But I actually kind of like some
Yoko, my slave, you have returned.
But they were pretty kino. And one of them that I believe in is that the real PPP died in that cabin. He froze to death and died.
Still watching from the shadows, I
says,
see.
The Grift Demon took over. Because it was because of freezing in the cabin that PPP decided, I need to find a way to make money. And what did he do?
Yoko Homo, as some people
and he gets
call
in touch
you.
with someone. You know, there's a claim here that there's a reason why he's keeping Worski. I'm going to tell you exactly why he's keeping Worski. It's not because Worski does work.
All right, let's hear this.
Well, good. I'm glad everybody loves him because his videos were fucking kino. Even the ones where especially the ones where he called perspicacity the lowest form of life. And so, where was I? So the Grift Demon. So the Grift Demon takes over in the cabin, and so that's the need, right? The opportunity is Worski. And how do you turn a guy who you've made literally 3 years worth of streams about how, you know, this guy killed his son, this guy is like just everything about Worski. I mean, you could go on and on and on. And you know, there's some clips. I didn't pull it up because I've played it before. There's some clips where PPP straight up tells Worski that Worski deserves to eat a bullet, like that he should die, all this really crazy shit. How does he go from that to making money with him? And the opportunity was when he invited Worski to his place when he was still living with Surfer to do quote unquote an interview. Now, to be clear, they have rewritten the history of this interview. It's okay, you're here for Nick Rekieta. I will get to Nick Rekieta.
Okay, I don't know exactly what the rest he's going to say, but PPP did initially at least did not link up with Worski for money. He linked up with Worski to own Ralph because at the time Worski was basically Ralph's capo, right? Ralph had resurrected Worski, and so PPP saw an opportunity. Worski behind the scenes had a problem with Ralph. And so PPP, like Worski doesn't care about what anybody says with him. He is, you know, open and shut. He will do anything for money. And so PPP saw the opportunity to get a W on Ralph, right? That's the only reason he did it. At least initially, that wasn't for money. I don't think.
It'll be right after this, but I do want to do this first because it just happened. He invites Worski over to do an interview about his sordid past. And it's basically sort of like the logical conclusion of what they did in the Chaga interview, where you have like a good cop and a bad cop and you're trying to get him to admit a bunch of stuff. And they've rewritten the history on this interview. PPP likes to bring up the interview as proof that he wasn't always hating on Worski, but to be clear, the purpose of the interview was to shit on Worski. It was not some kind of like recycling thing. The problem is, if there's one thing that you can rely on Worski to do is fucking party, because he's a drug addict, right? And I think that when he came over, they partied, and they partied hard enough that PPP was convinced to keep this guy around, which is why they lived with each other for the first couple of years of KinoKasino. And that was the opportunity. So the opportunity exists because he does the interview and he parties with this guy. Then he gets thrown out into the cabin, and then that creates the need. So need plus opportunity. And maybe thinking, well, how is Worski an opportunity?
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, maybe PPP thought he was going to shit on Worski. But I think it was mainly just to try and own Ralph, right? And then they were partying, hanging out. They kind of became friends. They did the interview. And there was some things, right? Like PPP pressed him on in the interview, but it was generally a pro Worski interview, I think.
Opportunity to go mainstream and make money. And the thing is, the other thing that Worski is really good at is pay-pig relations. At most sales companies, at most like big companies, you'll have
okay. We're kind of retreading. I'm going to skip forward a little bit.
Like at a high level, when you have like high level on the interview,
we know Worski. He's the pay pig whisperer.
And the other and another way you know that this is true is the guy who went on KillKinoKasino stream and talked about the
true. Yo, KillKinoKasino shout out
on pays hell of their Discord structure, where you had like a public server that itself wasn't really public. I mean, most of the people watching that stream, however many viewers you think they actually have, did not know about that. But it was at least free to get into, then a paid one, then like a super paid one. And that is how Worski is the one that makes you the money. Because if you do pay-pig relations, if you sell your not just your entertainment, not just some of your time, you know, doing
Your
a regular stream,
bodies.
but your
They
friendship.
sell your body.
You create this, like, you're willing to be the guy on call, essentially, like you're a fucking doctor in a hospital all the time to talk to these crazy people. They will throw money at you, and that is, and PvP knew that, and PvP hates the pay pigs. I mean, Perspicazzi's gone over this, over all the DMs. He fucking hates them. He just wants to shear them of all their money, which is kind of base. That's probably one of the last base things he has about him, if he even still believes that. But that's what happened. Is the opportunity was born by partying.
Yeah, they
with
are
Gorski
actual
and
prostitutes.
seeing that this guy can basically keep the drugs and alcohol flowing. And then the need was being frozen in the cabin and making a ritual where he sacrifices his soul to the Griff Demon. This is complete bullshit. This idea that PvP looked at Medicare at grifting, because like just think about the timeline here. Medicare is grifting in 2019. PvP did the turn to KinoKasino in what, 2022? Because some of these videos we're going to watch are from 2021. So 2022. So you're telling me it took him 3 years to notice that Medicare was grifting, even though he criticized him during those 3 years? He had an interview with Leo Pirate.
Yeah, the end is where it goes totally off the rail. I can grift better with that. I don't need Godwinson anymore. Like, I can do that with more energy. Like, what? The KinoKasino is the most boring fucking show that exists. And again, like, the casino only happened with the help of Perspicacity, the writer's room, with Godwinson. Like, it happened with Godwinson. Like, that's what Josh is not taking into account of all this. Without all these people, the casino would never happen. Worski basically didn't do anything to prep for that.
That Gamergate was the 9/11 of the internet, which is completely true. No, like this is straight up delusion. This is fan fiction, not true. And it's because he doesn't want to talk about the whole frozen in the cabin arc. He doesn't want to talk about the payment processor that was doxing all the pay pigs. He doesn't want to talk about Medicare going on there and softballing them in an interview. He doesn't want to talk about that. So instead, he says that he is basically this is legitimacy washing, saying that, well, Medicare did it, and so then he passes on his grift laurels to PPP, so it's all good. And that's my theory. We don't need a theory. It happened. It's real. The streams are still there. Just look at it. Early KC, I really didn't like. It wasn't, still is very okay.
Right, Worski got the sweetheart deal. They did all the fucking work. All Worski had to do was run OBS. Do you know how fucking easy it is to run OBS? OBS takes like 10 minutes of learning. And Worski's a retard. He barely even runs OBS right. Like, constantly, he fucks shit up. Worski, from the very beginning, got the sweetheart deal.
If you didn't like it because it was loud then, I don't know what the fuck you think about it now. The biggest improvement is literally just the PPP. Yeah, I mean, him talking over Worski, I guess, makes it better. They have less interesting things to say, and the things that they do say, we've heard a million times.
Because, like, Worski was already doing the pay pig whispering. Worski was already doing the pay pig farming before he even linked up with PPP. Where do we think these fucking pay... Like, Psycho was watching... for years, he bought the mic and shit from Twisted Minds. Iron Wolf Spear, like, all these guys, they came from Twisted Minds. Okay? Like, who do we think Medicare Masochist was talking to all day? It wasn't fucking PPP. It was Worski, and I guarantee Medicare Masochist watched Twisted Minds.
This is just sort of cope. This is a crazy line. I developed Stockholm Syndrome for case. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Like, Stockholm, as in, like, they took you hostage? Or you took them hostage?
That's crazy. Okay, and this is, like, totally... I'm just going to read this. He's not reading them at this point. Early KinoKasino... I'm not going to do the Josh voice. I didn't really like. It was... Early KinoKasino, I really didn't like. It was and still is very loud. However, the biggest improvement is literally just that PPP will talk over Andy without mercy now. I saw it was successful, but I didn't like it. I developed Stockholm Syndrome for KinoKasino after I started needing to do work after about 8 p.m. and for some reason their time slot would occupy 8 p.m. to 4 p.m., which is exactly when I had shit to do. So this right here is just like, in a couple sentences, the essence of the casino. The KinoKasino is slop for people that have to fucking sit at a desk and do, like, mindless, soul-crushing work all day. That's it. That's the reality. They put on the KinoKasino, and for 8 hours, they just listen to it in their ear while they sit at their, like, they answer phones, they fucking type on the computer. That is what the KinoKasino is for. And ironically for Josh, this is so insane because the thing with the Kino Casino is, if you didn't like it at all, like fine. But the early Kino Casino shows were the shows that they actually put the most work into, the most entertaining shows, right? They had guests, they had songs, they had place your bets, they had all this stuff, all this work that went into the early shows, where at least you could say, at minimum, you could say they tried, right? So this is perhaps the craziest take out of this whole essay, in my opinion. The early casino is the only Kino Casino that was even worth watching. It was and still is very loud. It's even louder now. All that they do now is scream, right? For years, PPP would make fun of Dick Masterson. Oh, louder is better, Dick. And what does he do now? He just screams into the mic. What does Worski do? He does the Tard laugh where he screams into the mic. Come on. Josh, that's the thing about Josh, is he's like, he is one of these terminally online people who just want slop content to watch all day. Josh watches Kino Casino, and then he does his show on whatever the fuck Kino Casino covers. Like, that's what happens now. This is really crazy. This is really crazy.
It must be you, because you're saying you developed it. And I think this kind of speaks to what the real motivation of some of this watching is. It's just that he's afraid that Casey will have a Josh segment every week. Kind of what they used to do. And I'll bring it up. This is literally from Kino. Like, this is how recently they were still saying some of this shit. This is from a Kino
Shout out to Colonel J. Shout out to Colonel J. The Colonel J clip.
Oh, it's because he's talking because he had to listen to them. I don't know. You might notice by this point, by just saying PPP again, it's just sad. I mean, obviously no one likes Worski. It's funny that even in this Cope post, he can't apologize for Worski. He kind of does though by saying, "I just don't really have anything to say with him. It's not that I don't like him on a personal." How can you not dislike Worski? Dude, even the biggest.
Everybody hates Worski. I mean, unless you're, that's the thing, right? Behind them is the 6 million burned bridges. Everybody that Worski's ever worked with hates him now. Everybody that PPP's ever been cool with, that wasn't his family, that he's worked with in the sector, hates him. That's what these guys do. You know, they make fun of all these people, Fuentes, Requeda, all these people for fucking over their relationships, for burning the bridges, right? And what do? The exact same thing. Everybody hates Worski. Only total faggots and retards like Worski, Medicare, Josh, Joey Beezer, all Worski's goons, PPP. PPP doesn't even like Worski.
In this thread, the new guys there's some guys who literally made accounts on TV Farms just to talk in this thread about how they like Casino. Even those guys are like low IQ interruptions. Worski sucks. And we're telling me you don't. It's
okay. So I'm getting a message. They're saying Medicare Masochist was not a twisted mindhead. Interesting. I did not know that. I always assumed that he was.
It's not that I don't like him on a personal level. Nobody likes Worski on a personal level, except for the people who are so incapable of making friends otherwise that they have to become pay pigs of a show like this so that they can get the full Diamond Club edition of the. I know people already pretend. I know it's crazy that people are pretending like the old Kino Casino is esoteric. Yeah, so like, I guess think about it. The sort of people who pay for the Diamond Club treatment for Worski on pay pig relations, like that's because it's their only option, right? So those are the only people who don't dislike him on a personal level. I don't know anyone. I've never seen a comment or in this thread of anyone who seemed even somewhat 2 IQ points. I mean, we have this guy, and I don't know. I don't know if you know anything about this guy, but let's just say I would not respect his opinion on this. Because he's not this idea that Worski just bumbled through the sector like Forrest Gump is bullshit. He was an active participant, including in some of the stupidest shit, and made choices. Like it's just that's the other narrative they try to run now. I could do a whole nother rant about that. I've never discussed this with. I don't think that's true.
Dude, bumbling Worski, just tiptoeing his way through the sector timeline.
That's fucking true, and we know that they talk. I'm not quite to the level where I think that they're like they plan a ton of stuff, but they do definitely talk. This is something we know. But I think the reason he's kept Worski is it's not a sense of loyalty. PvE has no sense of loyalty, and the way you know that is by the way he's treated everybody else he's worked with. That's completely delusional to say after you've already recounted him betraying Godwinson. And or my current theory is that Worski actually does a ton of, no, he doesn't. And he doesn't do prep work. Have you noticed what the division
Again,
of labor
true.
is when they, because if you look at the segments on the Clip channel when they talk about who cut what, Worski always gets the stuff that's long and doesn't require any cutting.
And PPP will always have to tell Worski like which clip to pull up, you know, like in the Google Drive.
Literally just does what I do essentially, which is just pull up the video and just watch it. PPP is the one who's listening to the fucking Bog.
Or Worski has his goons do it. He has Psycho do it. He has Zaneed do it. I'm telling you, like, Worski does no work. Everybody knows it. He anything that he does bring is, like Dog Zero said, something that doesn't need cutting, or it's something that his goons cut up and sent him.
Cast. And like cuts that up and stuff while he's stoned out of his mind. No, there's two reasons. Well, it was originally two reasons.
No, Yoko. This is actually the first time that I've looked at the casino thread in, I don't know, a couple of months. The casino thread is the worst thread on the farms. It barely covers anything. Most of it now, again, is back to just simping for the casino. It fucking sucks. It's the worst thread on the site. It should really probably be deleted at this point.
Since now it's 3. 2 original reasons he keeps Worski around is for pay-pick relations to make sure that they keep making money. And 2, it is because of OBS. PvP can't operate OBS. Like, that was the whole joke, guys. I'm sure...
That's the thing, like, you know, not to toot my own horn or anything, but if all that the fucking farms thread is posting shit that I covered and Housemeister covered and Perspicacity covered, it would be 10 times better, 100 times better. Because we do all the fucking work. Like, these people are fucking bums. Like, occasionally they'll do something, but 90% of the thread is unreadable. It's total ass. It's a waste of fucking time.
Like, you know, we're not retarded anymore, right? The reason why they shout on OBS is because PvP couldn't use
it. And that's the thing. They don't post any of the shit that we cover. They don't post any of the shit that people post on Twitter. So it's like, it's almost, you would have a better idea of what the fucking casino is doing as far as A-logging them and all the retarded, fucked up shit they do by just following certain people on Twitter. That's the reality. The thread is worthless.
Use it. And that was the cope, is that using the OBS is like, you know, makes you a bitch or whatever. The real reason is just that he didn't know how to use it. So then, of course, you set it as like a lower hierarchical position. It's a very simple trick, right? And Worski does do the OBS, and there's tons of stuff they do on that show that would be impossible without Worski doing the OBS. And that's not me saying Worski's a hard worker, because the stuff he does is very basic, and he still fucks it up a lot of the time. But that's just how little PvP can do. I mean, This guy can't like tie his shoes. I mean, watching hours of footage, no, bullshit. This is just delusional that he had actually believed this. You know why he thinks this? Because Worski's told him this. Like, because what this sounds like I go to the gym 2 times a day. This sounds like I'm boxing and working hard. Like, it's those kind of lies that Worski is known to tell. And so I think that this is just him repeating something.
Well, yeah, Yoko, I do. And you still show up. And you still show up and whine and complain and cry and moan. Yoko homo.
Worski's told him. PvP has always been one of the transgressive shit stirs in this. Like, this is just so cringe to read now. I mean, I guess in like a very literal sense, it may have been true back in like 2020 when he would go after everybody. And it's kind of like why that's my philosophy with a lot of this stuff. But to say that now when he's dressing as a fucking cow and shitting on DSP like he's freaking Snort Hogan for 6 hours, it's pathetic. He did it for more than half a decade without taking.
That's the thing. Like, the TLDR, PvP has always been one of the most transgressive shit stirs in the sector, and that's what really makes him unique. What he's basically saying is that PvP is like Kanye West, right? Like, he's always on the cutting edge. He's always, you know, the tip of the spear. Like, for the last 5 years, it's the opposite. It's the total opposite.
A paycheck just because. No, he did it without taking a paycheck because he had no opportunity to. He had no opportunity and need. That's why. It wasn't a fucking charity. It wasn't because it wasn't love of the game. I mean, you could say that he streamed for love of the game, but like, if he had the opportunity and need to get to make money, he would have. And that's everybody. Okay, that's just the way it is. He thought that Ralph and Rekieta were sinners. I don't think that's true at all. In fact, there is a plethora of evidence that PPP loves Ralph, and that the reason why he turned on Ralph was specifically because he watched him so much and just loves him. He loves like the Ralph lifestyle, where you just do whatever you want. You are feared and respected by people, even and made fun of at the same time. You're like entertaining. He likes the heel. He likes the piece of shit. And PPP has modeled a lot of the way he acts and the way he treats people off of Ralph, which you could say is retarded. And I would agree with you. But this is completely. Now,
well, he's become all the people he hates because for some reason he thinks that he's an irony bro, and he thinks that if he acts like these people ironically, but then he becomes it. But then he becomes it, and but he's worse because he's not the real deal. He's not the real McCoy.
Hard to say that he doesn't just fucking hate Rekieta, because I think most people do. But
he
no,
has all the worst traits of everybody he makes fun of.
Square have dropped where he straight up says like, "I love Ralph," and then Ralph's base for doing this. And there are even some of these videos I didn't pull them up because they're not like they don't super pertain to what I'm going to show you. But where he's like talking about Ralph, telling Ralph to sue Josh over false claims because he wants to see them destroy each other and stuff. Like, now. His turn from anti-grifter to grifter was on. No, it's not. His turn from anti-grifter to grifter was an opportunity plus need. It wasn't some Joker. And this reference doesn't even make sense because Joker burns the money.
Yes.
Joker burns the money. Like, what does
exactly?
He do? It's ridiculous. So yes, I think this is an intentional rewriting of history because the last couple pages of the thread were shitting on them for their bad Mario Kart.
Well, Dog Zero would know that because we played that clip for him. We played that clip when he called in.
This is like essentially a Damnato Memoriae of rewriting the history. This is like saying that we were founded by Aeneas and shit, which is based in the Roman example, but it's a similar kind of thing where you're just creating a total fan fiction of the origins of your it's sort of like how people say World War II is the foundation myth of the modern world. This is Null trying to write very poorly and in a way that it's very easy to disprove the foundation myth of KinoKasino.
That's a very good analogy. I really like that analogy.
In this thread, or well, not the A-Logs because they know better because they probably have been watching longer, but like the newer fans who are disappointed by the content.
I really enjoy that analogy. That is a really good analogy.
And here's this guy saying that he's right even though he's not. Him saying you can get away with literal murder if you're funny enough. Crazy thing to say. And of course he somehow makes this about whining about how he can't make money.
Okay, he's just skipping through this. So let's go into this real quick. We're kind of running out of time here. I didn't realize he was going to take that long. So this was the first post he made. And let's just kind of go through the thread here and just see like how Josh's goons start to come in, and we'll see his responses. Let's see. So these guys are all sucking. I don't want to read all this, but you guys can read it, thinking you were kind of losing it, Noel. But all that sector history really gave me the member berries. You should do a stream or maybe a series of streams about the riot. Like, that's the thing. Are you seriously asking the worst possible person lore-wise to do this? This is insane. These people are faggots. As I say, you could get away with literal murder if you're funny enough. If you're a dour sourpuss like Ralph and Rekieta, you can't get away with shit. Also, PPP did apologize. So there he goes. Oh, PPP apologized for calling me a pedophile. We're all good now. Okay. This guy has genuine questions since I can't remember if it's ever been addressed since. But were you genuinely mad at him over the new Project 2 shit? I know we're all on the same page about Diddler Dax now, but that was him going at something you were financially depending on. Yes, it was the first time I was able to. Yes, it was the first time I was able to collect any income at all in years, and he basically whole cloth fabricated bullshit to cause problems to get at Juju, who, now he hates Dick, but he was defending at the time. All these guys are sucking his balls. I don't know. I'm not going to read all these. I'd hoped Persip would call in. to help read some of this. We're not going to read all this, but we're going to read Josh's posts. So Thicky Smalls, they aren't funny, though. They're a couple of obnoxious faggots who holler and beg for money on the internet. Also, Andy Worski live streamed CP on the February 28th, 2019. Their show is a friend simulator, and you've been roped in. Truth nuke, truth bomb. You know, I actually watched that stream, and he didn't show anything. Like, I was there for that live, and he did not broadcast anything illegal. You've been spamming this for years, and I've never acted on any of the reports complaining about the endless, unfunny spam, but it's just completely wrong. Andy did completely ruin a federal investigation into a child porn ring on Instagram, but he did not live stream CP on February 28, 2019. False. Fact check. False. False. Watch it on Mad at the Internet then, Josh. Bring Ashton and Andy too for the hell of it. Oh, sure. Let me just pull up this 8-hour-long stream of Andy and Ralph looking at child models on Instagram together and going, what, over and over again from 6 fucking years ago. And hey, wait a second. This is a bait post. Wow, such masterful manipulation. Almost fell right into that one. The only Kino part of the stream is when the Instagram profiles all start collectively disappearing in real time as they're deleted by the owners. And at first, they're both like, wow, huge win. They're deleting everything, haha. Then the audience is like, they're deleting the evidence, you retards, and suddenly get quiet and shut down the stream. So Josh even acknowledges, oh, I'm responding to the bait posts, and then he fucking keeps spurging out all day he's doing this. Yes, Josh was Dick Masterson's Gator doing New Project 2. He banned everybody who said the Crack Shack wasn't a mansion and locked Dick's thread during the Simspiracy leaks. He did. He cleaned it up. Like, that's the thing. Josh has had so many E-daddies over the years. Josh burns a lot of bridges, too. Josh wouldn't know Kino if it fucked him in the ass. Yeah, true. The point I was making was that the stream wouldn't be something you yourself would bring on stream. Sweep it up, Janny. Based. Thicky Smalls calling him out. Yeah, it'd be a bad idea. I didn't say the stream was a good idea. I said it wasn't showing child pornography on live stream, which is an accurate statement. Nice try, though, fag. Oh, based. King Brian coming in to drop the nuke. Wow, Noel, you still are a fag. Who has time to even read this gay shit, let alone write that wall of my opinion? You're over 30 years old. Get a job and go outside, retard. Can't believe I was sent this just to ask myself, why do you think anybody cares? King Brian. Hold on, let me move this beezer. This really sent everybody spurging out. This is when the faggots, he really kicked up the ant's nest. Literal, cringe, Story and X coming in. Let's see, next page. Look at this guy. Because Josh has left me without Mad at the Internet, I'm going to have to watch KinoKasino tonight. My body is ready. This guy's just dabbing on him. Nate Higgers. Noel is unreliable narrator at all. Honestly, I didn't even see half the posts of them dabbing on him. That's still funny. You can call my narration unreliable, but I am a vivid storyteller and a beautiful writer. Well, your narration is unreliable, frankly. No one, by the way. This is some weird freak avatar. Some sort... Oh, look, a lolly poster. Jesus Christ. Okay, this guy is based. This lit cigarette guy. It's official. Null is PPP's dingo. what that means. I'll reiterate what I've said on the podcast a bunch, but I've never gotten flack for anything. I don't like the same. I've never gotten flack for anything I don't like the same way I do for anything. What the fuck is he saying? For anything I do like. It's really cringe. I'm 32 years old. I'm allowed to like shit, and I don't need your approval. This is what, dude, he's spurging. This is what he's doing. It's 1:26 a.m. when he's posting this. He's been posting in this thread all day, like just spurging out. This is Josh's life. Most people think that KinoKasino is based. I usually listen to it on my way back from dropping my son off to kindergarten or my way to pick him up. I avoid playing it when my son is in the car because I don't want one of his first words to be, "Whoa, buddy." What the fuck? Oh, man. I'm sure this is a good father. Jeez Louise. Yeah, he doesn't let his son listen to KinoKasino, just Medicare. Wow. That's fucked up. That's great, man. More power to you. Just keep in mind that you used to feel the same way about Ethan Ralph, Dick Masterson, and Nick Rakita. You have to admit, your taste in men sucks. Truth, another truth nuke, another truth bomb. He sucked off everybody he now hates, just like PPP, just like Andy Worski, just like all these fucking guys. He's just left a trail of destruction in his wake. Josh replies, "Want to name the boys in the industry who aren't prone to implosion besides me and PPP? Keemstar, Asmongold, who am I allowed to like?" Wow, PPP didn't implode when he attacked Surfer and got kicked out of his apartment and had to resort. He had to sell every principal he had down the river. That wasn't an implosion. Seemed like an implosion to me. He live streamed him getting kicked out of his apartment. I mean, for Christ's sake, that is lolcow behavior, if I've ever seen it. Oh, yeah, apparently Zanus is back, who is a pedophile. He's pro-casino, of course. That's true. At least Southern Dingo has a family. True. Absolutely true. Keemstar, not prone to implosion. Okay. He literally just had a scandal because he was talking about wanting to glaze this e-whore like a donut. And freaked out so much he had to get her banned from YouTube. I guess that's not an implosion, but I mean, it's lolcow behavior. Asmongold, who lives in literal filth, who shows his house and there's just trash everywhere. His house is worse than the vicar's house. Josh, like, these are your idols, dude. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. This is fucking pathetic. Oh, this guy is a major casino simp. This is the kindergarten guy. He says, Andy Worski owned up to his aim fiasco. He owned up to trying to have a man killed in the street. Oh, great. That makes it better. PPP also with his incident. In fact, I think they're a good influence on each other, and Andy has become sober. Wow, that's a lie. How many of the people you mentioned own up to their mistakes? Dude, Ralph, like, does a stream every other, after every bender where he's like, guys, I fucked up. You know, that's owning up to their mistakes. Sorry, but it is. And even better, how many of them embrace sobriety? Well, none of them. They're all drug addicts. PPP's a drug addict. Worski's obviously a drug addict. So back to Lit Cigarette. I'm not here to tell you who you are and aren't allowed to like. It's not like I'm your father. I'm just saying that you've gotten out of some pretty intense relationships in the past, and the current guy you're courting did end his previous relationship with a domestic situation. We all just want what's best for you. Okay, well, I disavowed that last part. I think Josh should fucking kill himself. Josh replies, "It's very easy to get out of relationships when the extent of your relationship is occasional conversation and watching a stream with seldom appearances. This is true with all of the people that you mentioned. Apparently, I can't even do that without drawing ire, though. I should just stay in a box and talk to myself only. I remind you that Harden came from Rakita." This is wild. Like, one person arguing with Josh, and he's just, I'm drawing the ire of the... I should just stay in a box and talk to myself only. Well, that would be what's best for the world, Josh. But I don't think you could do that, so... You know what you need to do. Captain Shitlord says, "Is Gabe paying you to suck his dick like he does PPP and Andy? You will regret getting involved with that micro-peen midget." This is another good one. Gabe doesn't give me shit. He does message me a lot, though, with random links. So this is where we are, guys. Josh is talking to PPP constantly, all day. Every day they talk. He's talking to Gabe. Gabe is messaging Josh a lot. I wonder why Gabe doesn't have a thread. Gabe is very involved with this shit. He's done tons of streams. He's done a live stream where he's like a midget, but he doesn't have a thread. I wonder why that is. Could it be because he's funneling Josh money and talking to him all the time? Could it be? By the way, when I told Ralph that Gabe gives them like $20,000 a month, that was just a joke, and I was just trying to bully Ralph. I didn't know people besides Ralph would take that seriously. Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't actually believe that, even though I went with that. But he obviously gives them quite a bit of money. Like, there's no denying that. Lit cigarette. Oh man, lit cigarette. He's going off. Yo, what's up, Iron Wolf Sphere? He says, "I remember your saying that you wanted to make yourself and the Kiwi Farms more legit. It would be an uphill battle given your sordid past and your enemy's willingness to use it against you, but not impossible." Well, I think it's impossible, to be honest. The Blockland stuff, ancient history, you were a kid. Okay, well, this is not true. He was not a kid. The stuff with your mother, growing pains and whatnot, the penis in the car door. Wait, what? I am not familiar with this story. Does anybody know the penis in the car door story? I may have to reach out to Campung Dude. He knows all the Josh lore. Is this real? The penis in the car door accidents happen? Did he crush his cock in the car door? Is that real? The penis. Oh, okay. Someone in the Discord is saying the penis in the car door thing is a joke from Rand. Well, I mean, with everything that's happened to Josh, I would believe it. But then the list keeps getting longer. Stuff comes up that's more recent. People might ask why this guy was gunt guarding for a guy who went on to groom and physically abuse a high school girl he impregnated, or why he tried to join a suspicious fundraising scheme run by a pedophile who likes to dress up like a cow and get fucked in the ass with a strap on. Or is he talking about Dick? Is he saying that Dick is a pedophile? Or why he would receive legal advice from a cuck who force-fed cocaine to his 9-year-old daughter. It's very easy to get out of these relationships, but a man can't unsuck a dick. Service providers don't want to do business with you. Banks don't want to process transactions for you. The list of content creators willing to collaborate you gets shorter by the day. And sure, a lot of these people are troon-loving, anti-free speech, anti-Semitic whatevers. But you have to admit, you're not making it hard for these guys to present you as unlikable. And a good amount of that has to do with the company you keep. And now you're courting Ashton Joel Parks, a guy who was kicked out of college for perving on women, true, who was kicked out of his church because of his degeneracy, who was disowned by his family after getting into a physical altercation with his elderly father. Really? See, I think I've heard this once or twice, but I've never seen proof of this. Does anybody have the proof of this? That PPP was disowned by his family after getting into a physical altercation with Sean Parks, who was blacked, his father. Blacked Sean Parks. Interesting. Who was kicked out of his lifelong friend's apartment because he would physically abuse him, refuse to get a job, and refuse to do any housework. Who binge drinks, who inhales potato chips all day, vegetates on pot constantly, profanes, bears his asshole to the internet, all while preaching his holy moral superiority over others. Who knowingly had pedophiles fund his lifestyle and would even attend sex orgies with them. Who snaked almost every associate he's ever had. Wow, what a paragraph. This is like all his crimes. All PPP's crimes listed. And man, it does not look good. When you really list them all, ooh, it does not look good. We need to ask Surfer about that. If he beat up, he tried to attack his old man. That's fucked up, actually. But it'll be different with you, right? Even though it wasn't even a year ago that both PPP and Worski were calling you a pedophile because you committed the horrible crime of pointing out that it was irresponsible of them to use Power Chat to collect donos and expose their donators' docs information to Baked Alaska and Nick Fuentes. I'm sure you and PPP won't have another falling out over some other incident, and your association with PPP won't be used as one of a long line of other former associates to drag you down into the muck. It's very easy to get out of these relationships. Having anything approaching a professional reputation and afterward, I don't know about that. This lit cigarette guy, he's kind of simping for Josh, but he's really cooking. He's really cooking here. He's laying out all, like when you lay out all PPP's crimes, and well, he did say he bared his asshole to the internet. One crime that wasn't listed is that he showed his asshole to children at the BLM rally. That's another crime I can think of. But when you really lay it out, it's like, why would you work with this guy? And again, it's not like Josh is just some internet guy. Josh is just some, I'm just some live streamer covering drama. He just talked about how he wants to be a politician. He has a nonprofit. He spurgs on Twitter all day about politics, and he thinks that he's going to be a politician. This guy is crazy. He is totally insane. It's not going to happen, Josh. It'll never happen. In fact, I think Ralph's right, and I think you will end up in jail ultimately, and I think you should be in jail. Well, I think you should be dead, but I'll settle for federal prison. Oh, look. Who's coming to Josh's defense? It's Dr. Naomi Hunter, forum staff, Salon Mod. Salon Mod, one of his ehos, one of his 50-year-old mothers. One of his 50-year-old wine moms is coming out here to defend Josh. Oh my God, this guy is one of the worst, this Wok Krava. But that's the thing, though. Ashton has never presented himself as a leader or role model. Yes, he has. Like, that's the thing. You can't have your cake and eat it, too. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, don't follow me, I'm not a leader, blah, 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 and then be the preacher guy that says, oh, but I'm better than these guys. I'm better than Nick Fuentes. I'm better than Nick Requeta. I'm better than DSP. I'm better than all these guys, and I'm going to be the preacher, and I'm going to tell you how you should act and why these guys are wrong and why these guys are evil, and I'm going to preach from the Bible. he is presenting himself as a role model. That's kind of what he's doing. You can say that he's not, and he himself can say that, but it's like Sam Hyde, right? Like Sam Hyde, he gives all this advice out and he does all this stuff. Oh, and he can say, oh, well, I'm not a leader. I'm not. But by doing all that, you are essentially being a leader, a role model, and presenting yourself as someone who people can look up to as a moral standard, but you're not. He has openly stated that he has failed his own Christian standards, which is something most people wouldn't admit to. Tons of people admit to that. Everybody is a sinner. He's entertaining A-Log just for the fun of it for a while and made some mistakes that he got punished for. He's entertaining and he's not entertaining and brings some pretty deep thoughts from time to time, which makes him a good host of a show. Yeah, this nigga is glazing. This nigga is just working the balls, licking the asshole. He's doing, you have to pay for something like this normally. Oh, there's autistic right. God damn. Oh, let's get some background music. I always forget the background music. I think he has a couple more messages. But look at this, guys. Like, he's just going on for pages and pages. He's responding. And this is what the thread is again. Derailed as usual. To clean it up. If I hear about the USS Liberty one more time, I'll shoot myself. On an unrelated note, I hope Hassan Piker finally embraces his anti-Semitism openly and joins the alt-right, while Nick Fuentes finally... Like, what? This guy is insane. This guy admits, by the way, that he has a kid on Kiwi Farms. Oh, I listen to the casino when I drop my kid off at kindergarten. You should get banned for that. Like, you should... If you bring up children, you should just be fucking banned. How about that? That should be a new rule. I know he's had a couple more. It's hard, again, lit cigarette. It's heartwarming to see how many of you guys turn up to defend Josh because some guy said that the Kino Casino hosts are bad. In the Kino Casino thread, well, exactly. I wasn't even aware. That's the thing, like, this is a fucking A-logging site. That's the whole point of this site. And yet these Spurgs and these fucking Glazers take it so seriously. No, you can't attack the casino. No. It's their fucking threat. It's the whole point. I wasn't even aware that was something you'd have to defend him over, but here you are. Some of you guys have never even posted in this thread before. Well, exactly, right? Because Josh brings in all the fags and Glazers and Jannies. And probably don't even know what a Kino Casino is, but you came out of the woodwork anyways. I'm sure he'll appreciate the gesture, or the gesture. Maybe he'll even invite you on Mad at the Internet to co-host for a stream. Anyway, Josh, I know I'm repeating myself, but like I've said before, I'm not your dad. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what it is. Well, Josh never knew his dad. Maybe that's part of the problem. You're right. You're a 32-year-old man. You're also unmarried, childless, barely employed, writing 1,000-word love letters to a micro e-celeb on an internet gossip forum and arguing about whether it's gay to do that with some random Zoomer. If this is how you want to spend your life, it's your prerogative, but this is an internet gossip forum, so it's also my prerogative to point and laugh at you for it. And if you can't understand why anybody would laugh at your situation other than, grr, he's trying to tell me what to do, well, fuck you, Dad. I won't do what you tell me. Then I don't know what else to say except LOL. Lamau even. You know, this guy's, you know, he's really hitting him right on the nose here. It all goes back to the father issues, guys. And again, Josh falls for the bait. LMFAO, all the sly little bitch games you were playing didn't work out, so you just started seething at me. Which is the classic argument, you know, when you don't have anything else. We all do it, right? You know, oh, you're seething. Yoko, you're seething at me in chat. Right? That's the classic argument when you don't have a response. Well, mostly. Usually. In a case like this, it is. Because this nigga is spitting. He's spitting the truth. He's spitting the fucking truth. And Josh has no response. It's tough. Look, here's his Naomi Hunter again. Is this Mama K? This could be Mama K. Can you explain what those sly little bitch games are? Because I'm lost. We're on an internet forum dedicated to discussing lolcows and their happenings. I posted it in the KinoKasino thread about how you started writing love haikus to PPP. As far as I can tell, my sly little bitch game is this: using an internet forum dedicated to discussing lolcows to discuss a lolcow. In this case, you. And hold on. This guy says Null just wants someone to play Switch 2 with. Well, exactly. Right? This all comes down to Josh has a friend now. Josh has like a real friend who's kind of on his level. You know, it's not one of his fucking Jannies that's like even below him, right? And so Josh will pretty much, I guess, do anything to preserve this relationship. They're similar aged. You know, so he probably, and you know, he just wants someone to talk to, someone to hang out with. It's actually kind of sad, really. My mother, yeah, Mama K, you know, my mother, she went through menopause and she just went crazy. I should have put her in a home, if you want to know the truth. Let's see. He might have one or two more replies. Okay, maybe that's it. But guys, like this is what Josh was doing for like 2 days on the weekend. It's just fucking arguing with people in the KinoKasino thread. And he wasn't even addressing the arguments. Oh, this is another good post. He says, the reason I say Josh is poor is because Josh says he's poor. He's always the one going on and on about how shitty his financial situation is and keeps flip-flopping on either quitting the forum to do payroll software or being stuck doing this forever because he's terminally unemployable. I just look at this face value and repeated it back to you guys. Or I just took this. It's true that Josh raised hundreds of thousands of dollars over the past few months, but I also took Josh's word that almost all that either went towards legal funds or upkeep costs for the forum. Yeah, right. It's not impressive to earn a lot of money for a business if the same business eats all of your earnings and leaves you in the red. That's just bad business. Now, if you're implying that Josh is lying about his financial situation and that he's actually well off, that the only reason he did the 100K legal fund was because he saw how successful Keffels was with his grift and decided to copy it, saw how successful Shiloh Hendricks was with her grift. Well, Shiloh Hendricks is a hero as well. Barely spends any of what he earns on legal costs and forum upkeep. Guys, this is an internet forum. Like, this could all fit on a single hard drive. You know, and he earns thousands of dollars, like $100,000, like these last few months. Like, come on, guys. Then this would be a pretty damning accusation on your part, not glowing praise of Josh's financial acumen. This would imply that Josh is pulling the same grift as every other right adjacent content creator. The routine of woe is me, I'm poor, debanked, and censored because the deep state is after me. You need to give me all your money to protect free speech, America, and Donald Trump. True. Personally, I like to think better of Josh than this. I'm sorry if you don't feel the same way. If anything, I'd almost think you were a Josh A-log instead of me. The fact that you keep making these long-winded posts about Josh's finances in this thread, even though this is the Kino Casino thread, and your posts don't mention the Kino Casino, PPP, Warski, or even their clip channel slave, at least all of my posts aside from this one were tangentially related to the Kino Casino or PPP. If you want to spark about Josh's income, maybe you should do it in the Mad at the Internet thread instead. Yeah, well, this guy says it all, right? You know, we all know where the money went. There's never going to be any proof. In fact, his lawyer, I mean, really, him and his lawyer are just like splitting the money, right? They're just laundering it through the lawyer. He's just writing like bills for legal fees, probably, and then the money gets put right back in Josh's pocket. And Josh admits he got the lawyer from Rakita. You know, like Rakita is this bad guy. He's a drug addict, and yet Josh is like now working with his lawyer. Okay. Who lives in a fucking trailer. Guys, no lawyer that lives in a trailer is worth hiring. Just saying. Gotta be Gunt Ranger. Yeah, so now that this thread has shifted back to being a fan thread, is the consensus now that Medicare Masochist is well and truly gone and that PPP and Andy are men of their word? Gotta be Gunt Ranger. Could it be? Could it be? Okay, well, that's the Josh stuff. I thought it was worth going through. His just whole Spurg session. You know, Josh is out of control. I recommend going and watching. I don't know if Dog Zero did this yesterday. I think all the Josh posts were out, but maybe he did cover it all. I didn't watch all this, but I think he goes through. He watches a lot of these videos. Go watch the rest of his video. Subscribe to Dog Zero, guys. This is a good video. He has a lot of good takes. But now, what we've all been waiting for, let's get into some Beezer. Because I do want to see some Beezer. No! No! Oh, wait. What's up, Iron? Hold on. No. No, you're good. Actually, wait, hold on. The audience can't hear you. Let me. Well, yeah, I panicked a little bit, but, yeah. No, it was all good. Hold on. Let's fix this. Well, you know, I mean, listen, I could be doxxed at any moment. I could have to answer for everything that I've done on the internet. And so there's some things that I try and, yeah, it is true, right? Hold on, yeah, let's talk. Hold on, but the audience can't hear you. Let me add, hey, I mean, you know, it's all good. I've had a couple myself. Yeah, it's Sunday, getting ready for the blood of the blood of Christ. Okay, all right, you're live on the KillKinoKasino show. Hello, Iron.
All right, you want me to leave and join back in so they can hear it too?
No, it's fine. We'll just. I actually played the Hallelujah version, the censored version. For the intro.
You mean the clean version? That's what the rappers call it. Yeah, the clean version.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how have you been? You've been gone. People have been missing you.
Dude, I'm only here because like Coach Baraka has a gun to my family's head and he wants the Beezer file.
Wait, well, so listen, we all want the Beezer file.
I know. Listen, look, it's not that I don't want to do it. I think we talked about this a little bit. I'm not doxing myself, but basically, I work a lot now. and I'm making money, which is good, but I'm like also very tired. I barely have time to play or do anything I want. Like, I bought something really nice today though with that money.
Oh,
I
really?
bought a Mossberg.
Oh, shit.
500.
All right.
Like,
Let's
I'm
go.
like, dude, I'm like, the work paid off, but now that I have like my nice toy, I'm gonna finish the Beezer file. It's a little depressing to listen to because I was in the call, I was talking to Beezer, and I'm just like, I was starting to drink, and I'm like, I have to do this for Beezer's own good,
It's for
I
his
have to
own
drop
good.
it. I think
well,
it is because
exactly.
he's not getting the reality check. Like, look, I don't know. He first of all, he doesn't have friends IRL, and he says he's living with a friend now or something. I'm like, come on, stop lying. Like, and I asked some other people that knew him, like, and they said that his room is the same room they used to see him back in like when the Discord was still up or whatever. So he's lying about being somewhere else.
Well, okay, yeah. Maybe you heard that when Baraka had called in, he made this claim like, oh, like, because he knows, I mean, everybody's talking shit about him, but he made this claim like, oh, back in the day when I used to live with my friend, my buddy that I used to live with, right? It's like the Gator Puerto Rican girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my Puerto Rican girlfriend. I used to live with my friend, but nobody
look,
believes that.
Look, this is his life. Okay, so he was groomed because he was watching. Like, I didn't know this, but because my people had known I was a Medicare guy like since like 2014, right? But I didn't start watching Twisted Mind, which is when I became cool with Kyler and Andy, right? Until like the last 6 months of the show. So like, but Beezer was watching Twisted Mind when he was like a minor, like he was in high school.
Right.
So Andy Worski kind of groomed him when you think about it. That's all I got to say about that. But anyways, we're getting off topic. But Beezer's life, right? It's very simple. He finished high school. He got laid by a fat black girl. After that, he wanted to join the Navy. I know, out of all the armed forces, he wanted to be in the gay one. Got rejected
Right.
because he has some kind of like freakish tall disease or whatever. He couldn't pass the physical.
Really? Like, are his bones weak or something?
Because his father was like in the Navy, so he wanted to follow in that footsteps.
Really?
Got rejected. Yeah.
Papa
He got
Beezer is
rejected.
a Navy man.
He likes semen.
Yeah.
No, but I'm not lying about that. There's no reason to lie about that. Like this is not even like an own. But he got rejected from service to join. He wanted to fight.
Did
and
he
die
even
for Israel.
train? Yeah. Did he even train?
He didn't even go to boot camp. He
Oh
got.
my god.
So when you're that freakishly tall, you have like an increased odds of getting some kind of like disease later on in life. So he has that risk. Like the doctor said, he could like fuck up his back just by doing like basic training. So they said he couldn't do it.
So he's like such a freak of nature.
Yeah. After that, he got a job at a warehouse or something, and then he basically just gave all the money he's ever made to Andy, and he lives with his parents to this day. That's his whole lore. His IRL lore, by the way. That's his whole IRL lore.
Now, were you surprised when he fucking like started showing his face?
No, because I think he might have been like he was on calls on Twisted Mind, but I think since like you notice he started showing his face a lot more after the pictures got dropped.
Yeah.
Because it's like Andy probably told him he doesn't feel comfortable being on camera, even back then. And like I said, like Andy told him to, so he probably just said okay.
Do you think? Do you think that Andy like convinced him? Like he was like, "Come on, Psycho, just get on camera." Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Think about it. He has nothing going on. He's like 24 now, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
He's in his mid-20s probably now. He doesn't have anything. He hasn't had a girlfriend since high school. He hasn't he's an incel and he's a NEET. And he lives with his parents. And he has like a minimum wage job. Like that's it. And all that money goes to Andy. That's it.
Well,
Like,
so
I mean, what else is there to do, right? Become a locale, go on stream, you know, be made fun
right.
of.
I'm wondering if like Andy put so much effort into getting him on stream because Andy like wants him as the backup guy, right? Like, okay, if something goes south with PPP, it's going to be the Andy and Beezer show.
I guess. I mean, but look, I mean, Andy before he did Twisted Mind, he was like doing like streams on D Live apparently with like 10 viewers. And, you know, like I don't even know if Kyler was a part of it, you know. And it's like I think Andy will do whatever as long as somebody's in his corner. Even if like good or bad for him. Like I said, like at some point Beezer's like gonna walk away. I don't know when. It might be never. It might be like 20 years from now. But like, I don't know. It's kind of fucked. Like, I feel bad for him sometimes, but then at the same time, like, I mean, he's the reason why like how he is. He chose to be like that, and people have tried to warn him and help him out in the past. Not me. I've talked to him like once or twice about it, and then I'm like, this guy's not gonna learn. But people have told him over and over and over. And he's just like, nah, I will kill, rape, and molest,
Die for Worski.
Die for Andy Worski because, and I'm like, what are you getting out of it? And it's like nothing. Like he has to pay to be on the show. That's kind of nuts. Like paying to be on the show.
Have you seen all of Worski's video? Do you think the Worski video game is ever coming out? Like they claim that they. Yeah, go ahead.
So one time, right, like the guys, like some of the old heads that were there, like they're even gone way before I got involved. We would just be like talking or playing a game, and he would come in the call, talk about it for 20 minutes, show us like some kind of Unreal Engine demo, and it's like the most like there's not even like 3D models rendered. It's literally just blocks, like pixel blocks. Right, and he's like, "Look at this! Look at this! I figure out how to make a bot, NPC move, guys. Look at this! Look at this!" And we're like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" Like, and he's like, "How long?" He's like, "It took me 2 months to learn how to make to code an NPC to move forward 10 feet, and then like a door closed behind it."
No,
and that was like the most I've ever seen him do anything about it, and he's been talking about it for years.
Well, so the latest game, right? I mean, we all know, like, over the years, he's been working on many, many different games. The Ralph game, the Sector game, the FPS, and so now he's doing this AI card game. I'm not sure how much you've seen of this, but he's like having ChatGPT create literally all of the assets for this game. And then they allegedly have some coder who's going to create the UI and everything for it. And they're feeding all these assets that they've had ChatGPT. He's done streams of it where like him and Psycho are just on stream and for hours and hours and hours. They're just feeding shit into ChatGPT and like essentially having ChatGPT create as much as this game as possible. And allegedly, this coder is like one of the pay pigs or something. He's the guy they all know behind the scenes.
I don't know.
That's what he's claiming.
Like he asked people in the past. Like I was there. I don't do that shit, but I remember him asking people like Kyler, other people, "Hey, can you do this for me first for free?" And everybody said no, and then he's like, "I'll pay you like a few bucks," and people were still saying no. Because like they knew that he wasn't gonna do anything with it. Like I said, since I've met him, he's been saying he's gonna make a video game. So, and I think I talked to him. Like I knew about him since like the Metacritic stream of AIM, but like I didn't talk to him until like early 2020, late 2019, and he's been saying it since that day. And it's like, what is it, 2025 now? So like, if anybody still thinks a video game's coming out, either it's gonna be really shit, or just not gonna happen. So I mean, who gives a fuck?
I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit gullible, but a card game is like so easy, right? You think, I mean, there's not a lot that goes into it. You think that they could, like, if they could do anything, I mean, all the assets are being generated with AI for Christ's sake. Like, surely they could, if they could release any game, surely it could be this game. I don't know. I give it 30-40% chance that we see it, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll.
I'll say this: like somebody asked about Beezer calling himself gay when he drinks and gets drunk. I don't know why he does that.
Oh,
And
when he
would
says,
call himself
"Oh, I'm
gay.
a fucking faggot."
Yeah. Like he would say that all the time, and it's like, you know, I was like, well, technically he did have sex, even if it was a she-boon or whatever. He did have sex with a woman once, and it was a black chick, a fat black chick, according to his own words, by the way.
Right. It could be a gator situation. That's what many people suspect.
I mean, but like, who fucking would brag about that? I mean, that's like at least a
Who
Puerto,
knows,
like a Puerto
man?
Rican. I don't know. I mean, like not, you know, I've seen Puerto Ricans that are hot. I mean, like not all of them. Most of them are not. But
Well, so
I mean,
Housemeister, he thinks it's because it's more believable, right? You say like, oh, a black woman, like, you know, because it's maybe
a fat
it's
black woman.
right. You think, oh, well, oh, surely that's believable if you would brag about it, right, or say that.
Like, why would you say
that's
that? Yeah.
right, exactly. That's the tell that it's not real. I don't know. I mean, you know, it could be, but
a blonde Puerto Rican. I mean, if she
Yeah.
is blonde, it's not real blonde hair. But I don't know. I don't believe. We know the Gator thing's fake, but we know it's fake, and it still sounds more believable than Beezer. I don't know. I guess maybe.
Yeah.
But he would just talk about it like when he would get drunk. And the funny thing was when he first said this like revelation, he said it to me privately, like after like in a call. We were like all hanging out, and I think we were the last ones to be on. And he was drunk out of his mind. I told him, don't ever say that again. Like, I don't want to hear that. Don't say that. It's kind of fucking weird. And that was like the nice
How
way
did
of
he
saying
bring it up?
Like, I think I don't want to say it because like I said, I'm not going to talk about things like one of them was no, I can't say it. I can't say it. But
Well, what
like,
is
I'll
he?
say
So
this.
what is he doing? Like he's just getting drunk and just revealing his secrets.
So
like,
he would get he would get envious of other people, like in couples, like people, because there was people there that like there was a chick there that got with some guy there. They're still together, believe it or not, and they haven't been like he would get like jealous of anyone being like living a decent life. And
so in his heart, he knows that he's a degenerate, and when he sees like other people succeeding,
like because I've
hurts
seen
him.
like he would like instantly become quiet if it was like a chick would come on the server, and then like because like for example, I'm not gonna name names because I'm not gonna fucking talk about other people's business that are not even involved anymore.
Sure.
Like years ago, there was people when I first joined the group, quote unquote. There was like a few people that were couples. Some of them left, some of them like died, or some of them like got kicked out by Andy. But like he would get really envious about anybody having like a girlfriend or something like that, or a girl having a boyfriend. Because like I said, there used to be chicks there. Me and Kyler said that on like one of the first streams we talked about. It used to be like dozens of people just hanging out, and most of them were normal people. So since he was kind of like this no experience incel neat, oh yeah, after the Salt Poppy knockout, 75% of the server got kicked out. Yeah, and then I remember talking about this, and I said like Andy came on the Discord call. There was 20 of us in that call. We were watching, on Discord, like live. Somebody was streaming the fight. And he came in like an hour later or so, maybe less than an hour after the fight ended, and he was crying on call. And then like somebody made a joke about it. Half the people, like out of those 20 people, like
was he really crying?
Like, yeah, he cried for like a minute, and then like everybody was just telling him to like relax.
Did he always show his face like in these private Discord calls, or is he a face camera?
Yeah, dude. Like a few people.
Oh,
Look,
no.
a lot of people have been on camera. But when he was calling in, he was just calling in on like voice.
Right.
I think he was on his phone anyways. Like he's not gonna hold up the phone to his face crying because we could hear him crying. So like, you think anybody would want to see that?
Well, I'm just curious, like if he would like, because it seemed weird when he showed his face, but I was wondering if like in the private calls he would turn on his cam.
Who?
Just like
Beezer
generally
or Andy?
Beezer. No, Beezer.
On Fridays. Fridays were like that kind of day. Like all the people would get on cam. Most of them, some of them didn't. But like it was like a Friday thing, not every time. Like sometimes people would just have it on if they had something cool to show. Like I remember one guy, he like showed us his gun. You know, so he had his camera on. Like people, I mean, but Beezer, he would only have it on once in a while. But most of the time, no, he wouldn't have it on because he was shy. Like he's a very timid guy.
Shy Beezer.
You know, like yeah, like Beezer's like a fucking. Even though he's 6'6", he might as well be like 6 centimeters tall. Like in his fucking personality, bitch. Like
yeah, that's
I don't
tough,
know.
man. I mean, God
It
bless
is tough.
him
Like-
with
like
all
one
this
time-
height, and what has he
like-
done with it?
like-
Nothing.
So I'm not gonna name the name, but there was a woman. Cause she'll cry if I release her name. But there's a woman that was part of this group server. There was a few of them, but this one specifically, she had a husband, right?
Uh-huh.
And her husband wasn't part of like their little friends, whatever. Like she was part of the like viewership or followers, but her husband would be in the background. And her husband came on once, and Beezer was on camera, and the guy pressed Beezer. I don't know why. And Beezer got so quiet about it. Like, he's literally telling him, like, he's yelling at Beezer to speak to him.
What?
And Beezer's like, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? He's like, I don't know. I see your face. Like, the guy was weird. This chick's husband was, like, an alcoholic. So, obviously, he was, like, he would
He
come
just
on
saw him
strong.
as like a weak target, a weak link. And
Yes,
just
he
attack.
saw him as and there was like 3 other people on camera, and he just chose to go after Beezer, and Beezer's sitting there in the same room just taking it.
No.
From this and the guy was like 60 years old, the fucking husband.
What?
Yeah. Because the chick is old too. She's like, I think now she's in her like almost 50s. She might have been like in her 40s when I first met her. I don't know.
Fuck. So some boomers just like going after poor Joey.
Yes. And he would
That's
like
crazy.
the boomer honestly was kind of I wish there was video of this guy because he was like one of those people that is just unhinged, like on YouTube. Like they would have like 200 reviews on a video, but they would be schizophrenic or something. Like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be like one of those people, her husband, whatever. And then
man.
Beezer Beezer's like really, really of a bitch. She's really bitch made. So it's like even on the internet, like this is why like somebody wants to challenge Beezer to IBS, and you think he'll say yeah?
Okay,
Like-
so I here's the thing. Beezer kind of goes on these guys called the Network, or formerly known as the Network stream sometimes, and I want to see if I can get on, but it's hard because I don't really watch. And so I have a couple people that will usually hit me up if Beezer is around. I haven't heard anything in a while, but I would like to talk to Beezer. It doesn't even have to be IBS. Like, I know I'm always like fucking with him, but it's like I want to talk to this guy because
I wish you could because like everything I've said about him or Baraka, you would see it to be plausible, if not unverified, like verifiably true.
Well, I don't
you
even
would
not
talk to this
believe you.
guy
I
for
believe
10
you.
minutes. No, I know, but the chat will see it. Like people would be like, "What the fuck?" Like this freaking nature. Like this is the future for some people on the internet. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like Beezer's like becoming a thing. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of fucking bizarre.
Well, it just bothers me with him, and it's not even really that like I have like a genuine hatred for this guy, but it's just like I see this guy, and it's so clear like why he does this, right? He does this because he's a loser in his own life, and so by making fun of all these other people, many of which have superior lives to him, like DSP has a superior life to him. Like Beezer will never have a wife. Beezer will never have a girlfriend as hot as DSP's girlfriend or previous girlfriend. Like Rich is married and has kids. Like all these people who he makes fun of, like, okay, like they're not the greatest, but they objectively have a superior life or have had one at one point. And it's like Beezer, like, come on, dude. Like, we all see what's going on here. Like, you're a fucking loser, but when you come online, you're kind of like cooler. And so you've retreated into this world, this fabricated, world, and you're rejecting real life.
Yeah.
And
I mean, what is
fucked
look,
up,
look,
man.
Beezer looks. The problem is Beezer is too in deep with Andy. Like he looks up to Andy. And Andy, what does he have to show for all the years being on the internet, like streamer, like his like nothing? He has a meth head. He has a Yoko Ono, like, and that's the most Beezer could expect to get a washed up drug
I have a
addict
Yoko
weirdo.
Ono too, actually.
You do? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have a Yoko Ono in chat. He's not here right now, but I have a Yoko Ono.
Oh, I think you meant like literally you had an Asian chick that ran your life.
No,
Like, like
not quite.
My sympathies.
But yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough, Beezer. I'm not even gonna try and lecture Beezer. Like I personally, I think it's too late for him, which is sad.
Yeah.
But Beezer, it's
dude,
like once you hit 30, like it's over. Like you've got a couple more years.
People have tried to help him. Like I try to help him. Like the problem. Look, the funny thing is, when Andy started doing these post streams, it wasn't just Beezer on. I remember there was like other people like Gorgoff. Gorgoff, I think, might have self-deleted. Like for real.
What? Whoa.
Dude,
real?
because like, look, dude, he couldn't handle the truth. Like he lost his virginity to a black hooker. Then he tried to say something about praying for Kyler's soul, and I'm like, I exposed him, and he immediately just disappeared from the internet. Like he's not even. I don't even think he talks to them anymore. Like I think he might have killed himself.
Jeez.
And like, yeah, like think about it. I mean, like Gorgoff was like on the verge of like for example, like Gorgoff didn't show up until like half the trip was over, and it was partially because he was broke or his truck was fucked up, and like we offered. He didn't even live that far from Vegas, so I was like, I offered to pick him up. Because I got a rental, whatever, a car. It's like I'll go pick you up, but you got to take a bus back. And you know, like like he was kind of a fucking.
Oh, not the bus.
I was gonna drop him off and then go back and then take a plane. Like no, fuck that. I told him I'll pick you up because I'm like I like driving. I've driven across the country. It's fucking awesome. I love driving.
Yeah.
Like Andy does this whole video game thing where he drives like simulators. Like I do that
yeah.
for Like I have a 2023 car, like brand new car I bought like last year. It's like fresh. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it's nice. It's not like a Bugatti, but like Andy Worski, he will never have a car.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, does Worski even have a car? Like, has he ever had a car? Well, I guess he claimed to drive Uber Eats at one point.
No, he did have Uber Eats, but it wasn't his car. He was paying, I think, like the insurance on it. I think it was his mom's car.
Oh,
It
you're
was like
kidding
an SUV.
me.
Yeah,
He was
no,
driving
he did live
his
with his
mom's car around.
Yeah. When he was doing Uber Eats, he did live with his mom because
Well,
I remember I joined the Discord. He stopped working for Uber Eats a while before I joined, and he would talk about it once in a while. And he would talk about like delivering in Toronto or whatever, or Ontario, whatever the fuck it is. And I'm like, oh, what kind of car do you have? He's like, oh, it's my mom's car. It's an SUV. but he's like, I paid the insurance on it.
He had to like, oh yeah, I paid the insurance, dude. Like, fuck, man.
So why do you think like Andy's obsessed with like these car games? Like, because he'll never drive. I don't know if he can't drive. I don't know. I don't even know if he has a license anymore. I don't know because he has like so many problems with drugs. Like I don't know. Maybe he has like I don't know. But he just doesn't drive in real life. So.
Well, he's in good company with PPP because PPP doesn't drive either. So.
Oh no, PPP would Uber like across the country if it could. Like
I wonder if Liana drives. Well, Liana's a foreign citizen, so I doubt she has a license too.
Yeah, but like according to what people have told me, like where he lives in Ontario, because I think I've talked to him. I don't remember where he lives in Toronto. I mean Ontario, whatever. But it's not far from Toronto, so like if it's like in the what do they call it? They call it the 6, whatever the fuck it's called. Because
the 6.
I have a cousin that lives in Toronto, and he told me like if he lives within Toronto area, he can just take public transportation. Like it's like New York City in that essence. Like they have like public transportation. So
he's riding around with like all the Indians and shit.
Yeah, I'm sure wearing his headphones and pretending he's like maybe he has a Switch and he's like playing a Mario Kart or something like that.
He's listening to the driving ASMR sounds.
But yeah, he lives in the city. He doesn't live like out in the sticks where you need a car. So like,
Right.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, the other day he talked about buying a house.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I'm like, man, because the thing with Tardsky is like, I'm sure he's making a decent amount of money for Canada, but it's like, dude, like Toronto home prices, get the fuck out of here. You got to drop like $1 million for like probably a shitty house, and he blows so much money. Maybe,
yeah, he probably will rent one, or if he does somehow get enough for a deposit, he'll lose it. It'll be like Spoonie, like he'll lose the house with it.
Fuck. Right. Well, he would have a mortgage for probably a long time.
Yeah, no, but then you think he'll be able to keep up with the payments? No,
Hell
he would
no.
lose it. Like he'll get kicked out and then go back to his parents' house or whatever, his parents' apartment.
Man, that's tough.
It is. I'm like, I don't even know if like. Oh yeah, I went off my point. I'm sorry, I'm drunk. So when he started doing the post streams, it wasn't just Beezer, it was Gorgoff, it was like other people.
Right.
And the only reason he did it is because he didn't want to be with Yoko Ono, like physically in the room. She wouldn't be part of it because she's fucking ugly. So I feel like that tradition is still kept alive with Beezer, is to literally be away from her if she's still around, assuming.
Yeah, because there's no need for the post shows, right? Like they don't make any money. It's like after a 6-7 hour stream, like, do you really want to stay there and like keep streaming? Like, what could be the reason? You know, PPP wants to get out of there as fast as fucking possible because he wants to go eat. He wants to go smoke weed, chill. Like, what's Worski's excuse? It's got to be he hates Liana.
Yeah, he does. Like he probably look, out of all the years I've known him, he's never was in a serious relationship or even any relationship. He was in an online relationship for like 2 years, and he finally went to see the girl and got like. The girl didn't want to touch him.
Oh, I remember that. He said he was going on like vacation, and then
yeah. So I didn't know. Okay, so that girl was in the Discord. I didn't know who that was because she never like joined the call. But then I found out later because he told us he was going to America, to wherever state that chick lived at, and that chick was like, she lived with her parents. So like they went to hang out, quote unquote, and then he tried to get laid. She turned him away. Then he broke up with her.
At her parents' house?
Yeah.
No, my God.
Yeah.
What a rookie move. Like, you rent an Airbnb or what the fuck?
No, she was an adult too, so I don't know. I don't know what the deal was. Like, she wasn't like, she was like in her 20s. So I don't know.
But like, it's such a rookie move. Like, okay, if she lives with her parents and you're fucking like 35, like, you don't pull up to the parents' house. You say, "Oh, I'm gonna rent an Airbnb and we'll hang out, or we'll go to a resort." Like, he has the money. What was he thinking?
I don't know. He stayed there for like a week too.
Shut up.
Which was like, yeah,
what?
It was like
in
a week. It was like 4
house?
days. Like, yeah, at their house.
Oh,
they were
what?
They were online girlfriend and boyfriend for 2 years. So obviously the parents probably knew something. Or the parents just didn't give a fuck. But, like, she still said no. She's like, no, I don't want to fuck.
So he was staying at the house and he couldn't even smash?
Nope, yep. He couldn't even smash. So then when he came back, I think either she left the server or he kicked her out and just said, guys, it didn't work out. That's it. And then we never talked about it again. Because, like I said, back then, if you said something, like, after he said, I don't want to talk about it, he would kick people. He kicked a lot of people.
Well, it came out basically what happened, but I had never heard that, right? Like, it came out that, yeah, he went to go visit this chick. She wasn't into him, and he came back. But, this is the first time that I'm hearing that, no, it was a girl who lived with her parents. He stayed at the house for a couple of days. Like, they were actually together, but then he couldn't even smash. I mean, that is just crazy. That's crazy work.
She got kicked out or whatever after the server. She left, and they broke up. They 100% broke up. Why do you think they broke up? If because nothing happened, or I guess she didn't want him. She probably got to know him like for real, and was like, oh no, what am I doing? Because, you know, like, she probably was enamored, like, oh, this guy gets, like, you know, he was getting a lot of views back then. Like I said, like, they were going out before, for, like, 2 years before I even joined, or, like, around the waypoint of it. So she probably saw him doing IRL streams, was like, oh, you know, and then, you know, realized he's a faggot in real life, too, like, whatever. But
well, and
I don't
that's the
know.
thing that happened with Raven, right? Because Raven, when they were like, oh, Worski kept trying to meet up with her, and he was like, well, I know you have kids, so is it weird if I stay at your house? Like, I guess he learned his fucking lesson, because he was like, I guess I could get like an Airbnb or something.
Yes, he
did. That
did.
is wild.
But she didn't show up. That was the funny thing. He told us, like, during that week or whatever afterwards, that, oh, he got laid. But then Raven told me that she never, like, she got invited, and she said no.
Yeah.
And that she didn't even live near there. Like, it would have been like a 3-hour, something like that, 3-hour car ride just to get there. And he got vaxxed, by the way, to not get laid. Just saying.
Yeah. After
Like,
going off on the vax.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we asked him, and like, I didn't, like, he told us he didn't, and then I'm just like, nah, I didn't. I was like, why am I gonna argue with this? He's lied to himself. Yeah, he's lying to me, but he's lying to himself. Like, whatever. Like, it's
tough, like, lying about smashing, you know, to your Discord bros. Like, maybe he was just doing it for Beezer.
I was more mad that he got vaxxed. I'm like, dude, like, after everything he said, like, everybody in there was like, no, nobody's getting the vax. Nobody did. At least to my knowledge. Like, the people in there were like, nah, fuck the vax. And he was like, yeah. And then he went to England and got the vax or whatever. I'm just like, bruh. All right.
Yeah, it's just like, this guy has just no principles at all. Like, it's so sad. It's
and then
fucking embarrassing.
He tried to talk to a few girls after that breakup. None of that ever worked out. He would talk about that he would, like, go out once a month or once in a while to, like, a club or something by himself or with somebody he knew, and he never got laid. So like that's Beezer looking up to this guy, and this guy, like, ugh.
Oh, Elric in chat. That is fucking funny, Elric. Elric says, Raven met a random dude on the internet after Worski, and they got married shortly. Wait, are Hujan and Raven married?
I don't know the person's name, but I knew she was.
Well,
like, after the whole thing.
She was dating Hujan. Elric is saying that they're married now. I don't know if that's the case, but that is fucking hilarious. That, like,
I knew she was with someone. I didn't ask her fucking personal.
Well, it's a guy on Twitter
didn't.
named Hujan. He, like, makes videos and stuff. He's just like this dude who lives in England. Yeah. You could look up his account. Yeah, and he just, like, immediately, like, got with Raven, and so it's tough.
It's kind of, I don't know. I talked to her. She's, like, really nice. And I asked her, I'm like, look, was there any chance of, like, you and him being a thing? And she's like, no.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't even, like, hesitated. Because I wanted to know, like, because I told her what he told us, and then she told me what he told her, or, like, all this shit, and then she showed me some of the screenshots before they went viral. Right, before you posted them, or Ralph, right? I saw them, and I'm laughing, and I'm like, and you know, I don't post that much. So I was like, oh, like she was like, oh, I'm sending this to someone else, and they're gonna post it. I'm like, oh shit, and I'm just like, Andy, no, like this, like, I can't believe Andy was like that, and I knew him, because, you know, I didn't know that's how he was.
The Rizzler.
And I don't know, that was the extent of his riz, like the cringe he would say. It's fucking
I mean,
pathetic.
you would think, like, he lives in fucking Canada, like, he's a white dude ostensibly. I wouldn't consider him white, but you'd think he could, like, hit up some Indian chicks or something, you know. I mean, fuck, like,
he tried, but the Indian chick didn't want to come back with him to the hotel.
Even the Indian chick wouldn't come back.
Yeah,
God.
Dude, look, in Vegas, this is the crazy thing. Like, the whole point of him trying to get laid pre-black hookers was because he told me because he was yelling in the morning thinking that Liana was cheating on him with some guy that she was going on a podcast with. Like, and she did go on the podcast. Like,
Oh,
he
but
said,
you never
like,
said she was
like,
Indian.
Wait. No. Yeah, no. We did.
Oh, really? Okay, maybe I missed that.
Yeah, dude, look, I'm getting a message. The other guy that was there, like, because remember, I didn't go to the club. I was sick. I was, like, fucking hungover.
Right. Oh, Renig?
Yeah, Renig. Yeah, Renig told me that he did grind with the Indian chick, and he tried to, like, fuck her and try to get her to come back, and she was married, but she was like, no, I'm not going back with her.
Oh,
so he
man.
did, like, mind you, he was also, like, shitting on Cog's ugly wife about it. That was 100% true. He was grinding on an Indian chick, and then didn't get to seal the deal. Met her masochist, bought the hookers, and everybody knows the rest of that story. But he did grind with the Indian chick, but she just said no. She was like willing to cheat, but didn't want to cheat with him. And the Indian chick was married apparently. So I'm like, that's funny. Like, couldn't even seal the deal with a fucking cheating Indian girl. Like, that's
sad, pathetic. Joffrey in chat says, "What's the lore? What's the Liana playlist lore?"
Okay, so somebody else had that. Basically, like, some people pre-drama was like worried about Liana, obviously for the right reasons. We knew what she was like, because they found a playlist of her basically doing this. Like, she has a history of going to people, getting in the group, causing drama, and then leaving the guy. Now, she's at the age where I don't think she's gonna get anything better. So I think this is like her final nest egg. Like, she's a nester, I think. That's what it is. Like, you know what a nester is? Like in that terms for a chick?
Oh, sorry. I stepped away. I have my wireless headphones on.
Okay, no.
Yeah,
Like,
explain
you know what
it.
a nester is?
Explain it.
Well, a nester is like a chick that gives you like some ass and, you know, pretends to be like a great person, and then she just wants us a
She
place to
moves
stay.
in, right? She just wants your resources, basically.
Yeah, she wants his resources because they're both drug addicts. And you know, she's not getting any younger. And, you know, he has a show, so he has some kind of revenue. Like she's not gonna jump because, like, according to what people have said, Ralph, I think you, like, she has been rejected by like people that arguably are worse looking than Andy Worski or whatever.
Right.
Vito, whatever. Was it Vito? Some guy, some other guy.
Like, Tipster, the fat Mexican Tipster.
Yeah, Tipster. Yeah, that guy. Like, the fact that guy said no to you, I'm like, you think she's gonna get anything better than Worski? No, that's her final nest. She's gonna nest there until she gets an overdose from meth or whatever. I don't know.
Okay, now somebody in chat posted this playlist.
Oh, Coach Fred Durst, I know that guy.
Yeah, so I pulled it up on the screen. Can you? What is this playlist?
So, like I said, this is somebody made this playlist. This is by Liana Taylor, but basically,
this is the expose playlist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So people were talking about it, saying like, dude, this chick is like fucked in the head. And yeah, it's true. I was like, but I thought, you know, in my head, my normal fucking brain, I was like, well, Andy will figure that out. Like, I'm not gonna interrupt somebody's Discord relationship. You know, I'm like, let them do whatever the fuck. Like, I wasn't worried. I was like, whatever happens, happens. Like, I'm sure it's not gonna work out. And if it does work out, good for him. I don't think it's gonna affect all of us. And obviously, I was wrong because I was like thinking, oh, Andy, you know, like, was not retarded to that extent. And then obviously everything else is history. The drama, the Discord drama, all that crap.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we gotta lock in on the Beezer files. Are they gonna come out or?
Yeah, no, yeah. I finally got, what do you call it? I got an equilibrium with my schedule now. Cause like I got this like great. I got a great like new gig I'm doing. And,
right, I remember you telling me.
Yeah, and it's awesome, dude. I get like a lot of stuff for free, like from my job. It's awesome. And it's like great benefits. It's pays really well, but it's a lot of hours. I'm not gonna lie. I work 5 days a week on that one job, and then I do something. Something on the side, like something. What do you call it?
Like a side hustle?
Like contracting. Yeah, like I do contracting, side hustle thing, whatever. So, I work technically like 6 days, but like, you know, the 6 days, like half a day of work, and then Sunday is like my only day off. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, I appreciate you calling in.
Your
precious
you know,
time.
but you know what? Beezer file will come out. Like, I'm not gonna drop it entirely because, like I said, it's fucking too much. Like, a lot of it's stupid. Like, it's 3 hours, and there might be like 30 minutes of content. Like,
well, you know,
like
people like the raw files. Like,
yeah,
I mean, if there's anything you have to censor for yourself, I mean, I understand
like,
that.
For example, right? Like, in the 3 hours, there was like 30 minutes of me talking. That's it.
Well, if you got to cut that out, I mean, for your own personal, I get that.
Like, I was trying to be a bro, like telling him, like, dude, you need to start thinking logically, and this and that. And then
people want to hear that, though. I mean, unless you have a problem with it being okay, I'll put it like this.
I do, because it's like I failed to bring this guy back to Christ. I failed.
Well, but that's not your fault. I mean, you know, ultimately, like Beezer, he has to make his own path, make his own decisions.
Yeah, you're right, but that's like now. Like, that's why I don't give a fuck. I'll release it, whatever. Like, who gives a fuck?
Well, anyway, and I also think that you should still release the running with the bulls footage, in some form.
Yeah, I gotta get into that account. I don't even fucking. Like, I gotta find it.
You gotta find it. Where is it?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I fucking like reformatted my computers. I'm not logged in on everything.
Oh,
so I gotta like log into that and try to find it for you.
All right. Well, we'll have to dig into that because I want to watch the whole thing.
Okay, I'll say this. So how about this? Well, fucking either I'll show you, like, I'll DM you. I'll show you something, and if you think it's worth putting out there, we'll put it out there.
Listen, I already think it's worth putting out there. I'll just say it like that.
But okay, but then, like you gotta give me time. Like I said, Sunday's my only day off. Dude.
Well, I don't want to rush you or anything. I'm just saying, like, don't think that I don't want it. Okay.
Dude, I'll have something, and like I'll let you post it. How about
I don't
that?
even look. I don't. It doesn't. It's not about me. It doesn't have to be the exclusive. I want it out there for the people. Because you got to understand, like, I know, like, because you were involved in it, so you may not think, like, oh, well, you know, it's, like, not that big a deal. It's boring. But, like, when you dig in, there's all these little details, all these little things. You might discover a gem.
I also, you know what, though? There is this little, I'm going to drop an audio file of this is just it's just some random shit that happened, but Andy's in there, and it's kind of funny because he's going off on a Jew, but also like defending the Jew. It's kind of funny. It was like I walked into a Discord, not Twisted Mind Discord or whatever. I'm not gonna say whose Discord it was. It was like one of the Discords that belonged to not Andy, right? And I come in this call and I just hear like 10 people arguing and yelling, and then 2 of them was Andy and some Jew. And the Jew was getting offended because like nobody knew, like he didn't want people knowing he was Jewish, so people were basically, you know, doing the 110th on him.
No.
Yeah, they were like, because it's like it's kind of retarded, like, you know, like Andy will be pro anything if you give him enough money. He'll be pro Jew, he'll be anti-Jew, he'll be pro-communist, anti-communist. It's like if you pay him enough, he'll do it. But it is kind of funny. I remember I got it on video, like the argument, and you just hear Andy freaking out because it's like when he can't handle any kind of like mediation. He can't mediate for shit. Andy, when he tries to mediate, he ends up getting more upset than everybody else. So it was kind of funny.
How did they figure out that Beezer was a Jew? Did Beezer just admit that?
No, Beezer's not Jewish. He just calls himself that.
What? His last name is Jewish, bro. We looked it up.
Is it?
Yes.
Well,
Hold on.
from what he told, listen, I'll say this. Beezer told me before we knew his name. Beezer told me he was like a Baptist. Like, obviously, that could still be Jewish, right? But I didn't think he was Jew. First of all, is there Jews that are like 6'6"? That's kind of crazy. Right?
Look at this. Look at this.
Where are you posting it, on the server or something?
Just in my I'm streaming in the Discord call.
Oh, okay, hold up. Yeah, Beezer.
So, Jewish, a nickname for a wicked or aggressive person from Yiddish. This is real. This is real, dude.
This is from Ancestry.
Yes, it's Yiddish.
Ancestry.com a Jewish like founding website?
I don't know, but
I mean, no, it was you know who fucking founded it? Remember that chick that used to be the CEO of YouTube?
Oh,
that was a Jew.
Yeah.
Yeah, her brother-in-law or her sister or her brother was like the founder of Ancestry.com.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a Jew. So if the Jew's saying it,
they claim him. They
true.
claim Beezer. Yeah, he's one of the tribe.
So you know what? It kind of look. If this is real, I'm
and
not
it's
saying this isn't
Ashkenazi.
real. I'm not saying this isn't real, but if this is real, you know, it makes sense why he would call himself Jewish, because somebody called them Jewish, and then they would constantly say the joke, and then he started calling himself Jewish. That's how the whole Jew thing happened. Like this guy, there was this incel guy that's Canadian that I don't even know if he's still part of Andy's like people, but he used to bully Beezer because his life was pathetic or whatever, and he would call Beezer Jewish, and then just Beezer started calling.
Well,
himself.
Everybody calls everybody Jewish, right? Yeah, like.
No, but not in there. People didn't say that. Like that, that would be insulting to one of us. Like anybody calling us Jewish, like even as a joke, I'd call him a fag. If anybody called me Jewish, I'd call him a faggot.
But Beezer, he just accepted it. He just took it.
And then he started calling himself Jewish.
Well, maybe I think he is Jewish, and maybe he just didn't want to say it, and then that was his like, oh, okay, yeah.
Well, why don't just talk to his mom? He talk to somebody talk to his mom, find out if he's Jewish.
Yeah, well,
I think if he's Jewish, then that's it explains a lot. But he's super tall. That's why I was just like what kind of Jew is 6'6"?
Well, Ashkenazis. I mean, they have a lot of European.
Okay.
In them, so.
But you know what? Anyways, but yeah, the Jew in the argument with Andy wasn't Beezer. It was an actual Jew. And then he got kicked out of the server because the idiot, just like Beezer, this other Jew, he got drunk and admitted to be Jewish to a few of the people in there, and then it never got let go. And then he was the whole argument was about the Holocausters or whatever. Somebody made a Holocauster joke in the private call, and he got offended by it. And then Andy's telling him to relax.
Was he claiming that they were real? They were legitimate?
Yeah, he said his uncle or his grandfather was a survivor
of the Holocauster.
Yeah, the Holocaust. He's like, that's not funny. My grandfather, he escaped.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm damn, that sucks. He escaped. He got away. That's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the gas. Yeah, Mr. X. And he kind of okay. So the whole argument was that saying that the gas chambers weren't real, and then somebody made a joke about Holocausters, saying that were the Holocausters real then, if the gas chambers weren't. And yeah, the guy said that his his grandpa somehow survived the gas chamber or something. I'm like, how do you survive? If, how would you survive a gas chamber? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's maybe they got the dose wrong.
Maybe, but yeah, then he got pissed off and started yelling at Andy, even though Andy wasn't the one pressing. Gabe Hoffman was never in the Discord, at least where I was at. I see somebody talking about. I wouldn't be around. That was the one thing people did press Andy about when Gabe Hoffman, because I didn't know about Gabe Hoffman that much, but then everybody in the Discord that was still there was like, don't invite this Jew. We don't want a Jew in the Discord. And like Medicare Masochist was like people were like, everybody wanted him thrown out because he was weird. Like he was like, he's a sick fuck. And he was also like a liberal. And he would like, anytime he got on the call, he would just talk about not all blacks. And we're like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Was he really that liberal? Like, how does he
Yeah,
even...
he would literally say, look, he told me a story.
Did he
Vegas.
know Andy's like background?
Yes.
So what was his cope? What was his cope?
I think he wants Andy to be liberal. I think that's what it. I
So
think
he
that's
thought
why
he was going to save Worski?
Yes.
Bruh.
Yes. Because think about it. Like, liberals are pro drugs, anyways. Pro drug addicts, right? Like, that's
True.
the angle. Legalize all drugs, right? But no. He told us a story about how blacks, not all blacks, because he was playing. He's tall. Medicare Masochist, whatever. He's a tall fuck. He's like 6'5" or whatever. And he played basketball in college, or he played basketball or whatever in high school. I don't know. He played basketball, and that he said that, how do you call it, that he was playing with his friend, and there was like other black people there, and that one of the black guys said that he called them the N-word or whatever, right? And then his friend's like, he wouldn't do that, and they were gonna jump him. But his friend, the one actual friend in that group, was saying that he wouldn't do that because, you know, he's lying. So he's saying the moral of the story is, that because his one black friend stood up for him and the 5 other were about to jump him for a lie that another one said, like, okay, not all blacks, right?
Oh my God. Well,
Like, that was the story. Like, one lied to him, one lied about him saying the word that he didn't say, and they were all gonna beat him up. And then the one guy that was his friend was like, no, he would not say that. So they didn't beat him up. So clearly, obviously, not all blacks, even though they were all gonna beat him up except the one guy. So he said that's what prevented him from being the racist or whatever. That a black guy lied, another black guy stood up for him, and then 5 other black guys were gonna jump him, but he didn't get jumped. So he's like, clearly not all blacks, even though they were willing to jump him.
Right, they were gonna beat his ass.
They were gonna beat his ass on the word of one guy.
Well,
I'm getting a
that's
message
the mind of
thought,
incestual child diddler. So.
Oh, okay. So this, I forgot about this. I'm getting a message. So Medicare Masochist did say this. I wasn't in the call, but I was told about this after. He thought everyone, including babies, should be forcibly vaxxed, and all J6ers should be executed. I wasn't there when he said that, but he did say that.
All J6ers should be executed.
Yes. And he's like a male nurse, so I pressed him on that, like saying like like nobody should be forced to take a vax, and he's like, and he said I'll vax babies.
What the fuck?
He said that, and I'm like, you're a fucking retard. He's like, if I could vax babies, I'd vax babies.
That's really vile. I mean, that is just gross. What a sick
I thought
bastard.
I thought that was sick, but remember, this is the guy that got caught like to the whole baby rape thing on the website.
Yeah, he was creating like fetish diaper content referencing his own child, like, oh, my son loves it when I've got him in a dirty diaper or some shit. Like, this guy's a sick fuck, man. It's almost unstateable, like an incestual child predator. Like, you don't get much worse than that. You really don't. You know, there's a lot of fucked up people in this world, and you can't name many lower.
People, I see somebody asked a question about did anyone try to red pill Medicare Masochist? So people just told them the truth, what we thought. Nobody was trying to red pill him because we're just like, we don't give a fuck about your opinions. Like, all of us like, disagree on them, like 99% of what you said, if not 100. So he would try to like blue pill us, I guess. He was trying to blue pill us. And everybody was like, I'm like, no, he like hashtag, he would be like saying hashtag not all blacks. I'm like, no, yes, you know, all. He would be
Fuck.
telling us about the vax. He was saying that the vax is safe. He's like, he's been vaxxed. I'm like, he's a nurse, so he had to. I guess he had to get the vax. He's a male nurse, whatever.
Right.
But he said that the vax should be mandatory so people don't get sick.
So he's got to be like the only liberal like in the server, right? I mean, most people in the sector
there
are like
was a guy that was like libertarian liberal, but he was just some fucking pothead. Like that's all he ever talked about was doing pot. That's it. That's like the only liberal besides Metacrimassicus I knew.
Man, that's fucked
Ozier,
up.
there was the Ozier faggot. He was an anarchist or whatever. He was a self-proclaimed anarchist, but he was also on welfare, like Canadian welfare. So
poor fucking
and he got
Ozier.
fired. Ozier got fired from 7-Eleven because some guy called him a faggot, and then he tried to report it, and they were just like, so like they said, you're such a pussy. And they fired him.
Did they really? No.
Yes, because he got upset that some I don't know, because he's like in his late 30s, probably early 40s now. So some guy in his 20s that worked at 7-Eleven called him a faggot, and then he tried to report it, and then they just mind you, this is like Ozier claimed. I doubt this was true, but he would claim once a month that he would send like threat letters to like politicians in Canada.
What?
Yeah, and like he would I don't know if he sent it anonymously, like the fucking what was that guy called? Whatever the fuck his name
The
was.
Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski.
The Unabomber, yeah. And then like Ozier, he was obsessed with like this weird shit, and then he also would claim that Mohammed, Jesus, and Buddha are like the same person, like literally.
Man.
And he wasn't a Christian. He was like not an atheist either, but he was like he worshipped all three like prophets or whatever. Like he was one of those people that like
So
all
like,
religions.
just the worst kind of person.
Oh yeah, he was disgusting. He was fucking gross.
I respect atheists more than those people.
Yeah, he's like, no, dude. Like Muhammad was base. I'm like, no, he wasn't.
Muhammad was a
Neither
pedophile.
was Buddha. Neither was Buddha. Like, he's like, no, they're all the same. I'm like, okay, whatever, fucking retarded.
Drug addict mind.
He also liked what's his name? That guy that sounds like Kermit the Frog that works for the Daily Wire. The guy that cries a lot. The one that
what's his name? Not Matt Walsh. I think I know who you're talking about. Damn.
Yeah. I don't know. Jordan Peterson. There you go.
Oh, Jordan Peterson. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was obsessed with him. He was like,
no, he was a Jordan Peterson guy. Fuck.
Yes,
Jordan Peterson's such a crackhead.
Yes. He would tell us like Jordan Peterson is like he's better than Machiavelli. He's better than all these philosophers and like of all time. He's like,
dude, he's a Zan head. Like what? That's insane. That's totally insanity.
I like and Jordan Peterson's from Canada, right? I think that's why he was obsessed with him because Ozier was Canadian too.
He's like a Canadian folk hero.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny, dude. Oh my god.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Well, how are you free Sunday? Like usually?
Yeah. I mean, it just depends. This next weekend, I will not be free, but maybe the weekend after. I'll be gone.
Fine.
Yeah, the week after this, I'll pretty much not be free until like that weekend after. We're doing the Gator Watch.
What is the Gator Watch?
Gator. Okay, so guys, Gator Watch is coming up. It's kind of a perspicacity thing, but on I believe it's the 20th, the weekend of the 20th through the 22nd. The Gator Gamer goes to this VTuber convention, and they did this last year, and they actually found him. But basically, Gator they watch like all these streamers and just look for Gator, like to see Gator.
Well, I'm sure he learned from last year because I remember somebody going over that and showing him in the convention and like him like like taking pictures of him or videos of him. Like, remember, like I remember there was a clip of Gator saying, "Yes, I am." Like he tried to talk to a guy that was on a panel. I don't know. It was something like that.
Well, so for I think there's been multiple because like there's so many pictures of Gator at these like anime conventions and shit. But last year, basically they found him, and then the next day Gator was like so blown out because he was like, "Fuck, I've been exposed." So he decided to live stream himself walking around. And then there's another clip of him talking to this like VTuber who later it came out has all these weird, disgusting fetishes. And he was like, hey, Rabba, do you know who I am? And she's like, yes, you're the crocodile man. I know who you are. And she like didn't want to say like who he was because he's fucking Gator and he's so gross.
Yeah.
Man, dude. So anyway, that's the Gator watch. But yeah, I could probably be free that Sunday.
All right.
But,
Well,
I mean, we can talk. We can work it out. We'll.
Yeah. Well, look, it's 3 hours of shit. I'm not gonna promise 3 hours of shit, but I'll have something like at least 5-10 minutes. Like I told you, I'm busy too, but like if there's something, I'll make sure it's something good. Like that's all.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like I know I'm always the one after you about it. It doesn't have to be like given to me. I just want it out there. You know, preferably like the raw footage if we can get it.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like we could do the coverage too, or as much of the raw footage as we can get. I'll put it like that.
Yeah.
As much as you're willing to release. But anyway, yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I gotta be in bed already. I gotta be.
Yeah, me too. I gotta. I've already been live for like 3 fucking hours. So.
All right. I'll see you later then. I'll talk.
Yeah,
I'll
take
DM
it easy, bro. Yeah. Bet. All right, guys. Well, fuck. You know what? We're always getting the Beezer lore, the exclusive Beezer lore segments on the KillKino. Because, man, some of this shit that these guys fucking get up to is so outrageous. Like, obviously the Metachromaticus stuff is just vile. That guy, really, he deserves to be in the fucking ground. I don't know how he's not been arrested, or I don't know. That stuff really is sick shit. That guy, his kids need to be, I'll say it, his kids need to be taken away from him. Like, his wife should probably be in jail too. I shudder to think of like a child in the system, but it's better than with a incestual pedophile father. I'm sorry. That really disgusts me. It's really vile stuff. And he was so involved with the casino. Like, he was like literally the top guy, which makes it so much worse. Vaxing children. I wish I could forcibly vax. Who says that? Like, maybe you think, like, maybe you're a libtard and you think, oh, well, I think the kid should have the vax to protect them. But just like saying it like that, oh, I wish I could forcibly inject them with the needle myself. That is sick stuff, folks. But anyway, you know what? We gotta play this fucking Beezer segment. I said I would play it. Let's play it, and then we're out of here. So this is the Stardew Valley domestic crisis. This is the channel is Gay Logger. He was in the chat the other day. I think it's also a Kiwi Farms poster. But let's watch.
1 second. And I'll add you too, Psycho. We're gonna.
You already added me. I sent you my friend code this morning. Hello?
Sorry.
Hello?
I'm gonna fucking unadd you and re-add you after, bitch.
Oh, he's pissed.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot I sent it to Zaneed too. You're not special.
Oh, Zaneed has to add me too.
Just decline his request.
You know what I'll say about the
Well, you know what, Gay Logger, he needs to hold it down in the casino thread. He needs to work just a little harder in the casino thread.
A switch that's sort of a little bit that's cool.
Bing bang wahoo.
A lot of the games are really like just pick up and have fun and chill. Whereas a lot of PC games are like It's like Fortnite and Call of Duty and I don't know. I don't even know what I meant by that. You know what I mean? Whereas Nintendo reminds me of like playing games at someone's house back in the day. Whereas a lot of modern games,
Warski's just constantly searching for that like feel good that he had as a kid. Like this guy has never grown up. He's just eternally a child. He's just gotta like, oh, I just want to relive my days playing GoldenEye in front of like, dude, grow up, man. Those days are over. You're at the age where you should be wanting your kid to have those days, but no, you murdered your kid. So
feel like the online game.
Yeah.
It has that vibe. You know what I mean? Whereas Nintendo feels like, oh, you're at your bro's house and you're playing Mario Party or you're, you know, Raython. I'm not a filthy casual. I play Stardew Valley. All right.
Stardew Valley is a tranny game, tranny coded game.
Oh, buddy, he plays a chick game. The chick game.
It's a chick game. Psycho, I bet you wish you had a chick to play fucking Stardew Valley with, dude. You fucking loser. What a bum. Oh, it's a chick game. You would fucking play that game with a chick in a fucking heartbeat, dude.
All together. We have a file together.
This is a good edit, by the way.
We have a farm
like this
together
edit.
with our buddy. We play for 5 hours at a time. Like, what is this guy trying to fucking shit on me? And we have an actual like.
Whoa, but no, you gotta understand, guys. All right,
that's gay.
We have a file. We have a file. No. Let me explain that to you a little bit better. I do all the farming. This motherfucker goes to the river at the beginning of every single day and fishes every day.
Whoa. Who's made all 90%?
Wait. So there are the I'm sorry. I'm like looking at my phone right now, but their argument, I'm like half paying attention. Their argument is that they're playing Stardew Valley together as man and wife should, as a couple should. The domestic dude. Warski won't play Stardew Valley with Liana, but he'll play it with Psycho, with Beezer. Look at these eyes too. Hold on, let me turn off some of these Beezers. Look at those eyes. This is the eyes of a killer, of a baby killer.
Cent of the money for our fucking farm. Ooh. Go ahead.
Hey guys, you mind if I spend all of our gold on an iridium rod? That's a great idea.
Yeah,
guys.
to make 10,000 more, so you could spend it on garbage. Oh, I'm fucking breaking geos,
buddy.
On
seeds,
geos,
buddy. For the farm game.
Who helps you garden? Who helps you fucking water the plants half the time?
That's the least you could do, buddy.
But then you
I have to
harvest
wait
all
for
of
my
it,
watering
all the
can to get upgraded,
experience.
buddy.
You don't let me fucking put any in the fucking bin, so you get all the experience after I help you.
Look at the vein popping out. Oh,
anyway. I make like 18 G's a fucking week for
yeah, sure. No, totally.
18
we've
grand a
absolutely
week.
had 18
I don't
Gs.
believe that.
Are you like, I could pull up the fucking file right now and show you're a liar. Like, what are you doing? Like, you trying to act like
Listen,
I'm the
buddy,
breadwinner.
I'm just saying, I don't think you're contributing enough to the
Are
health
you
of
joking?
the
Oh,
farm
he's doing
there,
the Jew
buddy.
voice.
Come on,
Are you
buddy.
joking? No, seriously. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me the truth.
Stutter.
You better be joking, right?
Yeah, Bees Wave. We
This
need
guy
Bees
does
Wave,
all day.
Bees Wave content.
Talks to Haley. I want to fuck
Where's Ear
Haley.
Juice?
I want to fuck Haley. I want to fuck Haley. I got 2 hearts with Haley.
Wait. Okay, hold on. Let's do a little research here. Stardew Valley. Haley. See what Psycho. Oh, Psycho. All right, Psycho. Okay, I see you. I see you over here wanting the Aryan Queen. Okay, all right.
I'm gonna dance with Haley at the Flower Spring Festival. I'm not even kidding. This happened. This is real.
That's real, dude. The coke
Oh
laugh.
my god, buddy! I can't believe it. He's going for the white chick with the blonde hair and the fat
Yeah.
titties. What a fucking homo, man!
I mean, I respect the choice, Psycho, but you know, you're
Mr.
getting
fucking-
exposed
Oh,
right now.
I need to upgrade my friendship with the dusty, crusty old fisherman.
To make
Then he'll
bait,
give me-
to make more money, to make more money, to make more money. Unlike you,
To make
buddy.
to make bait. You
Yeah,
want his spinner there, buddy. You want him to cast his rod into your secret
gonna
watering
actually
hole.
beat you up. You're such a fucking loser, dude.
You want him to catch your special wiggler there, buddy.
I'm gonna kick your ass. Be real though,
Bro,
Be real.
what your special what?
Tell him the truth.
Oh,
Who
we're
got
getting
all the wood
Kino
for all the
Psycho
fucking
laughs.
shit? No, seriously.
Who got all
be-
the wood?
Be real.
Who got all the wood?
Yo.
Who got all the wood? I don't know. Who has
Me?
the copper axe, buddy?
Who got? Then how did I get more than you? In the last 4 days, I got way more than you. I cleared out the whole southern forest. This guy claims there's wood. There's 40 pieces of wood. I bring 900.
You want to know why there's only 40 pieces of wood left in the chest? Because somebody actually had the presence of mind to go talk to Robin to get some fucking work done, buddy.
We planned it together.
Oh, we planned it.
Wait, hang on.
Who spent all the time tilling up the
Shut up,
dirt
shut up,
so
shut up,
we
shut
could
up.
get enough clay to build a silo?
Oh, wait, who made the 10,000 to buy the silo?
10,000. It only costs 1,000.
Wait, okay, what did you spend 10,000 on that we saw the money go from 14,000 to 4,000 in 5 minutes? I just see it sinking down. Sinking down.
Because it's the beginning of summer.
Okay, could you stop acting like I'm not fucking working on the fucking farm for real? Because I make more money than you or our other buddy. Like literally, I make way more money than both of you. Like literally, I make way more money than both of you.
The
These
flex.
guys are like,
Imagine like flexing on
mining and
Psycho.
friendship
Like, come on,
points.
it's like
And I'm like, I'll bring in all the
it's like
fucking
beating
money.
up a child.
I bring all the fucking money. Now, you know what? When we're back, I want 50% of that fucking yield after helping you for the past, from carrying you for a month and a half. Show the file. I'll show the fucking file, bro.
Oh, fuck.
I'm adding Ken right now.
Yeah, I
Apologize, for real. I'm actually offended. Go ahead, for real. Stop joking, for real.
Okay.
Tell them.
Okay.
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 Come on, Psycho. Just
We've
get it
almost finished the aquarium in the community center,
Which is
because
very
of all
hard.
The time you spend fishing. Yes.
It's very hard. Okay, thank you.
Sin has gifted 5 subs.
Oh my god.
Iron Wolfspear says Beezer isn't lying about Andy doing none of the work in video games. He never did anything because video games are hard. Fuck. Poor Beezer. Imagine like having to be the slave in real life and in the video games. Fuck. It's tough, guys. This is a good edit. Okay, I like the edit style. Does he have any more of these? This is fucking funny. All right, Gay Logger, listen, you got to make more Beezer edits, okay? I really enjoyed this one. Need to do some investigation on this Liana playlist. Have to save that for later. All right, guys, I think that's it. You know, promises made, promises kept. Oh, fuck. I probably shouldn't have streamed this long. I'm pretty tired, but, you know, it was worth it. Definitely no stream next week. I'll probably be back for the gator hunt. And then, of course, me and Iron are going to have to work out the deets on the Beezer files. So we'll have some stuff coming up, surely. But I think that's it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let me turn on all these rare Beezers. And we'll play out. Follow this guy too. Scalogger guy. And Dog Zero. Shout out to Dog Zero for doing all the hard work on the Josh expose. The Josh Kiwi Farms post. Although, again, we need the answers about the coins, Dog Zero. I see you in chat. You tossed those coins in very shallow water. I'm wondering if they were recovered. I have many questions. They were in a protective case. They perhaps had a string tied to them for retrieval, ? We got to get to the bottom of those coins. I will go to the same location. I will look in that water and see if those coins are there. Well, I guess if the coins aren't there, I'll just assume you took them either way. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, oh, there's another Beezer. We're out.
Back to me, heart was broken, I am frozen, now you're glowing.